Boys. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to AGRO33, Chad v. Fro for the 145-pound strap, co-mained by Ed Cobby versus Stan for the vacant 155-pound strap. Joining me today is our boy, Yuri Thunderdome. Yuri, how we feeling?
Oh, man, I'm raving about this card. Not only do we both get fights in it, we're going to get to see a championship fight for the division that I'm in. Yeah, I cannot believe the action we're about to see. And then guess what we're starting off at? Ben, guess what? Two of the hometown heroes in aggro fighting. We're getting the Carl Lake versus Jack Lowry. And Jack Lowry obviously might be the favorite to you, but be careful. Carl Lake is an animal when it comes to this.
Absolutely. And you bring up such a great point. This is a vintage card, if you will. We've got some old dogs on here. And Carl has had such a hard skid, right? Being 1-9 shows that he obviously is still here. 10 fights in aggro. I mean, not a lot of people can say that they've done that. And sure, none of them have really gone his way, but the fact he keeps coming back. Yuri, do you think that tenacity is going to help him out tonight?
Carl Lake does. He goes out there, he gets his ass kicked, and then he comes right back for another helping. I cannot hate a guy that does that. But then more importantly, we're talking about Jack Lowry here, too. You got to realize this guy at one point was a contender. I think he might have even been in the championship look here for a long time. So, yeah, I mean, Carl Lake, I've beaten him myself, and he's actually one of my many, many losses. So, hey, Carl Lake can do exactly what he wants to do against Jack. We're going to see a big, big, big upset.
Moving on from the card opener, we've got Robbie Poirier versus Public MMA. I think, similar situation with Carl. Public has had some really hard fights, man, and not all of them have gone his way, but he keeps coming back, and I can tell that he's made some improvements, right? He keeps adjusting things week in and week out. Robbie Poirier, I believe, is making his, correct me if I'm wrong, but his debut in that 170-pound division. Currently 0-0. Oh, is this his aggro debut?
Hey, Ben. I think we got a treat for the fans. I think they kind of want to just get to the action. What do you think about that, Ben? Let's see Carl versus Jack Lowry. How about that?
I think you are completely correct, Yuri. Let's look at the live betting line before we get over there. It looks like Jack Lowry's closing at a minus 270 fave, Carl at a plus 130 dog. That's the official betting line. However, you guys can predict and make your own betting line. Be sure to use those channel points, guys. I am excited for today's card. I've got my water, my voice, it's ready to rumble.
Apologize for the delay in getting in, but I am now here and I am ready to commentate. How are we doing?
Kane, welcome to the booth.
How you doing?
Kane, how you feeling about this card, champ?
Whew, I am excited. This is I'm really excited for this guy. I'm not going to lie to you. Primarily because there's two. Well, I don't know what's going on with Morbid's fight, but primarily because there was two welterweight fights, and I'm just happy for my division to finally have something in place because I'm so bored of not fighting. So that's why I'm most excited. But there are some really, really good fights in this card. I've spoken to a few fighters over the last couple of days just to get their thoughts, and I will be going over them during the card. But I've got some really interesting thoughts from some of the fighters, so it's going to be a great night.
And I think we have the boss man stepping in to announce a fight too, Kane.
All right, okay.
And this is going to be a little bit of an alternating. Now, okay. Cody, I believe you are fighting on this card, correct?
Yeah, that wussy Irish gorilla took a step back and said, hey, I don't want any of that Yuri action. I don't blame him. So now we're going to go ahead and transition into... I've just been told we're going to keep it a bit of a secret until we announce it. Okay, so I can't jump the gun on this a little too hard. I think we're going to probably transition into Carl versus Jack. So we'll see how this one goes. Again, Carl is the favorite, but honestly not by that much. So what does that tell you about the fight, Jack? Kane.
It's definitely going to be interesting. I believe Jack Lowry has fought before. I believe he fought against BetPick, but again, Bet Pick is a insanely talented player. He couldn't get past that, so it's definitely going to be interesting to see what he does differently in this fight than he did last fight. It's definitely going to be interesting. I'm not really sure who takes it, but I'm going to be watching very closely.
And that's, you bring up Jack's last couple opponents. Let's dig deeper into that pool. Beat Dark Lord, lost to Palestine, lost to Chad, lost to Lynx, and lost to Dylan. So again, he's on a bit of a skid, but you have to think losing to guys like Chad and Lynx, very, very, high caliber competitors, really isn't something to hang your head about.
No, absolutely not.
You let those losses roll down your back, Kane.
Exactly. Yeah, there's losses in the there's some losses are a little bit painful, but when you're losing to high quality players,
And looks like we're stepping right into the action here.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Off.
Lowry's in the blue, Carl in the red. Lowry, catches it with uppercut, knocks him down.
And straight into it. Nice little kick on the return there.
Jack is pouring it on.
I think Cal just needs to take his time. Don't, as you all know, once you get rocked for that first time, you start to panic a bit. Your hands get a little bit sweaty. Your heart starts to race. You just need to calm down, take a breather. And this is a good idea. Get him down to the floor, wear him in a little bit.
I don't know why he gets up from his half guard there. Maybe Carl panicking a little bit and didn't know what to do when he got him there.
Well, that's a nice, beautiful lead elbow there from Carl. Hits with that
Jack just seems a step ahead right now. He's really working the 1-2 effectively. That rear hook has landed several times, led to that. Oh, good head kick.
I don't know, nice kick to the body. Oh, that uppercut.
Gets rocked.
Going for the 1-2 head kick.
Hooks
does a good job to block that head kick.
Oh!
Carl is really telegraphing everything that he's going to throw. He's not setting anything up. He's just throwing naked.
Wow.
Hit with a huge head kick.
Carl,
and you got to realize, man, Jack might have been a little insulted by this matchup. I mean, Jack just knocks him to the next century. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, to me, that looked like a guy that was insulted by the matchup right there. Jack being a former contender. I mean, he came out there and got business done. No offense to Carl, but, man, that was a thumping, wasn't it, boys?
True, a real big chip on his shoulder from the last loss. You know, looks like it had been a little bit of a skid, so... And a little bit of his shoulder coming into this, and a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, and he's definitely proved that the losses don't represent him as a player. And that was a fantastic performance tonight.
I think the story of that was the pressure. I mean, Jack Lowry did not let up for a single second. Throwing the ones, the twos, the threes, everything was coming out of the pocket for Lowry. And as much as I love Carl, it just didn't seem that he had the requisite answers. Moving on, we've got Robbie Poirier versus Public. Poirier closing at a minus 330 favorite. Public closing at a plus 200 dog. What do you guys think of this fight?
I mean, hey, we got it. We got a debut, which we seem to have a lot of in aggro fighting, and then we have one of the Public, who is a former management team within aggro. So he's kind of seen aggro blow up before his very eyes. Obviously, he's taken a step back from the management role, but he said to a lot of people that will try and listen to him, and anybody that will listen to him, that he's improved. We're going to find out. Public not doing a very good job early on in his career to reach himself into a contender. I know a little bit about that. So we're going to see what he does, man. We're going to see if he can come out and attempt to put down a debuting, maybe future star.
Is that better?
You know, I think this
then what are we looking like at the predictions?
Predictions, it seems that people are gravitating towards the Robbie Poirier side. But we're getting some bets in for Public. Having a little bit of support from the stream. Again, you can see that 200.
Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing a plus 200 for Public MMA. Robbie Poirier is minus 330. And again, if anybody wants to get with me, I'm taking these odds. I'll be your bookie for the day.
And while we are waiting for them to get it started, it seems that we are ready to reveal the Cody fight later on the card. Is that something we can do, Jamie, or want to hold that one for a little bit longer?
Also, while we're here, I'd like to give a shout out to the 40 people who are stopping by to say what's up to Agro Fighting. That means a lot to us, guys. As you can see, we're also competing against Ruthless Omni Esports UFC, and we have 10 more viewers in them. No offense to Ruthless Omni. So, yeah, man, we really appreciate you guys from stepping in. It means a lot to us that you come and you spend our day with us.
And we're underway.
Robbie out in the blue, Public in the red.
It's definitely interesting to see how Public's going to handle this as a somewhat seasoned veteran in aggro. Welcoming this newcomer into aggro, you always have that a little bit of a nerve when fighting a debut fight. You don't have any record of your opponent. You've got no sort of nothing to go off. Whereas Public's got quite a few fights, so there's quite a bit to go off there. So it'll be interesting what he does to surprise Robbie, and let's see if Robbie can surprise Public as well.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think. This is one of those fights here for Public, saying, hey, look, I'm here. I know I got a long way to travel upwards, but I'm here.
And do you think that there's a pressure, right? Fighting people who are debuting, who are coming into aggro, looking to make statements. Public, unfortunately, being on the receiving end of some of those matchmaking decisions, do you think that he's maybe tired, right, of being used as maybe a stepping stone?
You could definitely
yeah,
give
for
an
sure.
argument that is used as a he's basically just you could use the argument that he's there to boost the newer talent, and that's just not it. Is a difficult fight, and that's what you want to give to these new people to see if they can actually hang with some of the best in aggro. Unfortunately, he has lost a few times, but that doesn't again speak to his actual ability. So I think it will be a little bit not degraded, not sort of offended, but maybe a little bit of a chip on his shoulder because he's been going in and getting all these debut fights. Maybe he just wants to squash the debut today and get someone up in the rankings.
See their Public securing the takedown, putting some ground and pound onto Robbie.
Beautiful ground and pound now.
Not denying the half guard get up, so we got to think maybe these two might not be 100% skilled as he gets a big rock there, drops him. Public saying, I'm here, man. I'm here to take over this stuff. Big uppercut hook, and he knocks him out cold.
Poirier's out cold.
My gosh.
Wow.
That was beautiful combination. That was a beautiful combination. My goodness. Wow. What a showing for Public.
Celebration. Look at that.
Fantastic job.
Classy. Yeah, we were saying, I was saying just before, a chip on your shoulder. You're going in against all these debut fighters. This might be time for him to get somebody who's not brand new, someone who can do a little bit of research on. So hopefully this win gets him back to where he needs to be, so he can start to climb those rankings and get to that championship picture.
Boys.
And let's talk about the combination that got the job done there. Let's talk about the combination. That was a lead uppercut, rear hook, lead hook. That is what we see in high-level fighting. It's Public maybe saying, hey, I'm here to stay, man. I'm here, and I'm going to only continue to improve. I know I started off pretty slow early on, but, man, that was beautiful. Wow, what a combination to finish it. Here it is. We get Ben. We're going to look at the betting odds here.
Jamie, send me the... Yeah.
We have Ben plus 400 versus Rowan, who's a shocking minus 830. I'd be surprised if I were Rowan here. Ben is not a dog. I don't understand why he is the underdog. Or maybe you guys have seen his record and just jumped to conclusions. I know I'm marking out for Ben here a little bit, but man, he's actually kind of a dog when it comes to this game. So we're gonna see if he's improved at all. Kane, how do you feel about this fight?
Oh, I'm excited. I love Ben to bits. And Rohan's a very interesting fight. It's going to be interesting to see how Ben pulls this off. I believe like I said, I think that the betting line has just looked at his record, seen some of those losses, lost to yourself, and seen that, and I think that's a heavy factor in that. His ability is there. I think it just needed to refine it. It's definitely going to be interesting to see what he did from his last fight differently in this one to come out and secure that W against Rohan.
Right, boys, don't forget to get your predictions in with your channel points. See if you can win some channel points and maybe get that fighter interview at 5,000.
You heard the boss man. Do that.
The prediction is live right now. Blue for Ben, pink for Rowan. Don't be shy, only using 20 points. Get some big money on. Also, we need to announce Cody's replacement. It will be War Figgy, or the Bro MMA, or whatever else it'd be called, the Joey Diaz kid. Fro's brother, he lost last week, he's looking to come back in.
Interesting.
Avenge his loss against Cody. Cody, how do you feel about that one?
I mean, I got to be honest. I was preparing for one side of the spectrum. Now I'm fighting a completely different one. But I got a feeling that I'm going to be able to get the job done. I'm going to go out there, obviously try and entertain. That is my MO. If I lose, I lose. If I win, hey, I think I deserve a title shot. But right now we got Ben versus Rowan going on, man. And we're going to have a little bit of a problem getting these two going to start off. I'm trying to see it. Kane, do you know exactly what Ben's calf class is? Can you tell?
Ben on the left is a kickboxing acrobat, I believe,
and another one sniper.
Okay, so we're gonna have an acrobat versus sniper, a little classic matchup. You see this a lot. Looks like Ben's trying to warm him up a little bit. There it is. We've officially locked in. Acrobat versus sniper.
Rowan's coming through at 95% of the channel points right now. 1,000 being put on Rohan by Chad.
Wow, Chad with a big fight tonight in the main event.
Here we go.
The Throw.
Excited to see Ben hopefully pick. Someone's always got to go, and hopefully it'll be the aggro boy.
Sniper
Ben.
more of a flashy class versus acrobat. Ben kind of playing it safe with the acrobat pick. Not a bad pick though.
No, not a bad pick. Very flashy. Maybe he's going for the KO tonight. Oh, I was expecting the KO then. I was expecting KO then.
Here it is, Ben. Oh, kind of using a little bit of head movement. Got to be careful. You get kicked in the belly like that. That's an automatic rock almost. Got to be careful with that head movement as he goes for that big heel kick. We're going to have a little bit of delay here, boys. We're going to have a little bit of skipping, so just stay calm, sit down, enjoy the fight. As we see Rowan coming out with a head kick. Ben utilizing that powerful, powerful switch kick. Many of the pros think that needs to be patched, so we'll see if Ben goes back to that. Kane, what about this quick fire action to start off?
No, I thought Ben was taking his time quite well up the start.
Takedown!
Oh, he should hit the takedown. Interesting as the kickboxer. I was going to say, interesting to see if he's going to wrestle because, against the sniper. Oh, and he gets flipped.
Gets swept right in the top mount.
Straight.
Oh, and
pushes him off.
Gets
right?
up. Rowan gets straight
I wonder
up.
why he opted to get up there. Oh, he's flex on
I think Ben pushed him up, didn't he?
You gotta love it. You gotta love it.
I mean, he's definitely.
It almost looked like he got up.
I'm not sure. Nice body shot.
Ooh.
Ben's hurting.
There it is. You gotta be careful exposing your body like that.
Stop throwing naked kicks. A lot of low-level fighters.
We're not trying to corner Ben here.
No, we're
It
not.
was interesting to see.
We just gotta let him know.
Got that body
Oh!
Beautiful head kick. Goes for the ground and pound. See if he can get the finish. Oh! It's all over.
Knocked out cold.
Rohan.
Back to Chaz in the money with his 1K prediction. Well done, Chad. 3 back-to-back first-round KOs. What is going on tonight?
That hurts. That hurts to see. We're going to let Ben talk about his loss. He's going to come back in. I think we remain silent for Ben here until we get him back.
Unlucky, Ben.
That hurts. Genuinely hurts.
So we see it a lot in low-level fights, people throwing naked strikes, and as I was saying it, he lands one and knocks him out, so what can I say?
Can we play that Scottish song with the bagpipes for Ben? Do we have that queued, Jamie?
What, the Titanic song?
Titanic, yeah, just anything to cut this.
As much as it does pain us, I do want to speak to the knockout because it was quite a nice
beautiful head kick, yeah.
Just as Ben went to throw a head kick of his own, I believe he got caught with just the toes the front part of the foot of Rohan. So it doesn't take a lot to put it down. It was definitely a good fight to that point, and I would have liked to see a little bit more wrestling. I would have liked to see him go for Ben to go for an actual wrestling class, maybe. He's not striking's not terrible, but I think if he works.
And how about the 4 ground straights that were thrown to finish the fight?
Not mixing
That was
it up, just straight. He was trying to bounce.
4 ground straights. I don't think I've ever seen that. I don't think I've ever seen 4 ground straights to get the job
He
done.
actually did it in his last fight. I think he knocked down Sam last fight and he did the exact same thing. I got a severe case of what's the word? Deja vu. That's it from him doing it last fight. But this time it works out for him. He picks up his first win in aggro. Oh, boys! Next prediction is up. We've got.
Yeah, hey, we're talking. Let's give Rowan the credit that he deserves. Wow, what a finish there! Gets a big head kick, gets on top, and finishes him out with 4 ground straights. That was beautiful.
And Ben, although maybe not with the best record, does have a little bit of a name in aggro, so it is a good name to get your win off. So maybe this will catapult him into the rankings and get him up there and get him with the next opponent from Rohan.
Next up, we have Colin versus Evan G. The predictions are up. Colin is 0-3. Evan G making his debut. Get your channel points in. Let's see who.
Big minus 650 for Colin, and Evans is plus 240. So if you want to bet your channel points, please use them now because this is going to be a. As we can tell, I'll tell you right now, Evan G is the big favorite. Colin G, Evan G is the big underdog. So we'll see how this one works out.
Sniper as well. Sorry, Cody, for cutting you off.
Yeah, sniper versus sniper. You sacrifice a little bit of your chin, but you gain a lot in punch power and punch speeds alongside with your kicks. So you got to be careful to watch your chin here. Kane, how do you feel about this matchup right here?
I do like the sniper class. The striking, especially the boxing, flows so smoothly. So for the other fight, I believe it's Colin, not Colin. Sorry, they're both going sniper. Actually, it's going to be interesting. Body shots are always a big thing. You see a lot of fighters that go to the head. Not a lot of people really do work the bodies. A few fighters, myself, I work the body a little bit. BetPick works the body quite good. There's a few other fighters as well. So definitely working the body for these two fighters is going to be interesting. With them both being sniper, I think it's going to be a stand-up war. I don't think we're going to get a lot of takedowns in this fight. I do think they're going to just stand and bang and really keep it going. So we'll see once the other fighter accepts. And interesting to see, it's just got sort of the block calf, no real customization to it, just a bit of a tattoo. So we like it.
That's 2 in a row we've seen like that, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, maybe he's a shapeshifter. He's getting his money's worth today. For aggro, is told standard creator class guy.
We've had 350 channel points on Evan, 340 on MMA Colin, so very even going into the fight. And here we go.
No clear.
25 minutes into the stream, 30 minutes into the stream, and we're already halfway through the prelims. This is going extremely well. Was that 4 first round KOs or 3? 4? 3?
For 3.
No, 4. No, yeah, 3. I can't count.
Jeez.
We'd also like to give a shout out to the 32 people that have come to watch as well. We really appreciate your time.
Don't forget to drop a follow, lads. Maybe a subscription if you've got one there, right around an Amazon Prime sub. Remember, it's free. Here we go.
Or just steal your mum's card details.
Or donate 10,000 bits. It's a minimum required. Hook spamming from Evan early. Jab straight, misses by a good distance. Colin with a crane kick.
And there it is, that crane kick that you only get in the sniper class. People have actually seen their fate ended because of that crane kick.
Yeah, the kickboxing tournament loved it.
Especially if you mix them up with...
There it is!
Oh, there we go.
There's that crane kick.
An effective kick. If you're really mixing up the kicks as well, you're not throwing it naked, you're throwing a few leg kicks.
It's hard to read that crane kick.
It really is. And I will... in ranked, I get caught with it a lot. I'll duck into it because I think it's going to go over.
Yeah. But if you do catch the sway...
Yeah, that's the thing with the crane kick, man.
If you catch the sway on it...
You can work that crane kick to the body, too. It's even harder to read.
Yeah,
if you can work that crane kick to the body, mix it up to the head, it's almost impossible to gauge. You kind of just got to sidestep it.
Good take, Cody. I agree with that.
MMA College just really... into the hooks. Really needs to throw up his strikes. Like I said,
No, he throws the crane kick back.
Crane kick again.
That's a great kick of his own.
And we're going to get another first round KO.
beautiful.
Overhand!
Oh,
Not doing a lot of
beautiful
damage.
overhand.
But nice overhand. There's a switch kick, Cody, tickling the body. Lead leg kick.
Yeah, body tickling, man. That's part of the game. You got to body tickle. If you don't, you're behind. If all the pros are doing it, I'm gonna do it too. I think everybody should at this point. With the patch, you got to realize too. With the patch, body punches and mixing up the strikes in general have been a part of the new meta. You have to mix up your strikes now. It used to be you could just spam shots to the head and get a finish fast, but now you've got to
Thanks for follow,
change
Wally.
levels. Thanks for the follow, Wally. Yeah, now you have to change levels because of this patch. It's basically taken the game from checkers and made it chess, which is something that people have got to. So he gets a big rock there. Yeah, I mean this isn't checkers anymore, man. This game's chess now.
Oh, nice hook!
And he swings.
Oh,
The hook and then the overhand. He needs to watch out for his stamina. Goes for a few knees in the clinch.
Needs to get away from him. Needs to back up, take your time. Crazy back and forth fight.
You were saying, Cody, because you really do need to work up the body, especially if you're fighting the aggro where we are such high level fighters. Body work is necessary. You need to get these people thinking, where am I going, so you can land those big effective strikes. We're not seeing a lot of body work from him, Colin, and I would really like to see him just really pep that body a little bit more, even just with a few strikes now and again, a few body kicks, maybe a knee. Just really get it. Just really get the fighter thinking.
Yeah, I mean, again, we can't preach punching the body enough in this game. You have to at this point. And here we are now. Who do you think's up in this fight, man? It's honestly been a little bit back and forth. I think Rowan might have the more rocks.
Overhand, nice.
Oh, beautiful overhand.
He's timing.
He's
got the range down on the Collins kicks now. He's getting out of the way, but 85%.
And Evan's really working that leg kick as well. He's really mixing up the strikes with his legs. Hits the calf really effectively. Nice. Then he's going up.
Big up Ziaf in the chat. Good to see you here watching the aggro streams.
Is Ziaf in the chat? Wow, that is beautiful. Nice to see you, man. Ziaf, one of the aggro, showing a little bit of aggro love. Love to see it, Ziaf. Nice to see you here, champ. And again, guys, this is the prelim. So if this work right here isn't what you're used to seeing with the pros, buckle up. We have a lot of high action stuff coming your way. So buckle in. We got a long card ahead of us. Plenty of action for everybody to enjoy.
Colin needs to set up his kicks. He's throwing them too naked. He's been quite out of range 3 or 4 times.
He's pinning up Evan G to the cage. Either clinch just to get
there
a
it is
bit
again, look. Oh my god! Oh my god!
What an overhand!
Another first round KO. And what did I just say? Stop throwing your kicks without setting them up. And wow. He finishes it.
Slides back out the way of danger and then fires that cannon of a right hand over the top, connects with the chin and puts him out clean.
Evan G pronounced himself on his debut.
Making a statement.
That was Evan, right?
And Evan G was the big underdog too, a whole plus 240. So wow, him getting that win right there has a statement to say, look, you can bet all you want against me. I'm here and I'm ready to rumble. Beautiful showing there for Evan.
4 first round KOs. How are we going to do KO the night tonight, boys? How are we going to do it?
I don't know. I know the adjusters have a lot on their plate for sure.
At this rate, we might be able to send the judges home early.
The judges are doing part-time work tonight.
You could go smoke the crack for the next fight.
The judges won't have even wrote a number down on their sheet yet.
I know, that's insane, isn't it?
Next up, we have Roman versus Highlight. Highlight returning after being 0 something.
Nice one.
And that just goes to show in aggro fighting, you never really know, even if you're favorited, even if you're not, you never really know exactly who's going to win these fights. You got so many debuts, you got so many people coming in, showing love to aggro, asking for a fight early on. So you got to be careful. You can't expect anything out of anybody. That's just a part of aggro. It is what it is. And you might be upset about that, getting a debut guy who's actually a killer. But I mean, hey man, it is what it is. That's part of aggro. Beautiful showing there. I mean, wow, you can't ask for enough there. I mean, that was a lot.
And I want to speak about the odds, because you can never really go off the odds as as favoured or as underdog they may be. You really don't know. It only takes one good shot to put out a fighter. That's why a reason why I don't really bet on fights, because you just don't know. With football teams, you can tell, you can look at statistics, things like that. With fighting, it's so much different, because you can get fighters that are on a loose streak that just absolutely dominate an opponent. There's so many different variants when it comes into it. So you can never really count the underdog out. In my eyes, there's never really an underdog. Both fighters are on the same level. It's just obviously people need to make money.
And I'd like to give a shout out to the 40 people who actually stopped by and went over here to show us some love. Love to see the aggro love here, man. We really appreciate everybody stopping in. And again, we've had the Zayef come into the chat. Bless us. That's beautiful. We have a lot of chat interaction, actually. So this is nice to see. People are actually coming out and showing some love. Beautiful to see. Hey, and again, these are the prelims, boys. So if you want to talk crap about aggro fighting, wait till you get past the prelims. This is a progressive league. You come in here, you say, hey, look, I'm not ready to I'm not ready to fight the big dogs. You come in here, get matched up against a big dog, and then you get your ass handed to you. So this is time for all these prelim guys to start building up their careers, building up their repertoires, and move on. Beautiful showing from everybody so far.
Absolutely. And just at the back of that, I do want to shed some light to a fight on the main card that I'm excited for. Dosser versus Umbro Slides, or UFC 4 News, in the 155 PlayStation division. Now, I've spoken to both fighters. I say I've spoken. I tried to speak to Umbro, and as cold as he was, all I got was round 2 submission. I asked him exactly what I asked Dosser. Prediction of the fight, how do you think he's going to go, and he's been carrying a sort of cold shoulder this entire fight week, and he's still carrying that into the cage. So he's going for, Umbro believes he's just going to get a round 2 submission to get anything else. But when I spoke to Dosser, he believes this fight is his biggest test to date. But he's fueled it more, saying he's now
I
got
said,
a
you're
chance
right,
to show off how good he really is
nobbed,
against
I think
Umbro.
is what you Brits would
Dosser said
say.
his takedown defense will be tip-top this time around. The reason it wasn't last time is because he did say there's a little bit of lag on the other fighter's end. But Dosser, what he's going to do is he's really going to go out to test Umbro's striking ability.
Beautiful take as always, Ken.
Oh.
You're always on the other side of the desk making beautiful takes. If I could, I'd like to make a big announcement here, and this is an unfortunate announcement, I will add. Ben's MMA, everybody's favorite commentator, has decided to retire. Unfortunately, yeah, he does go 0-4. I'll go ahead and read his full statement here. I wanted this one so bad. If you know me, you know I hate losing, and going 0-4 has sucked. Very interesting words. Hanging the gloves up, boys. Time to stay behind the commentary desk. It's been fun. Congrats, Rowan. Hope to see you keep getting picked up W's and build yourself up in Xbox 145. Little disgusting there, in my opinion. I think Ben has a lot more to show. And, hey, I've retired 4 or 5 times. I think he'll step back into the mat. Let's be honest, boys.
Yeah,
but
I think he's
again, we'd like to give a shout-out.
Cage.
Eventually, Ben's going to come back into the commentary team. He'll be able to speak for himself. But yeah, we'd like to give a shout out to Ben. Beautiful. And I
to
think
offer
we have
my
him.
statements
Ben.
on the retirement, sometimes you put yourself in these situations and you try, right? I like to suggest to everybody, you go out there, put a good showing, you give it your best, and sometimes the results aren't going to go away, but hey, you tried, and that's what's important. Boys, back on the commentary team. How we doing?
I'm good. I do want to ask you, Ben, is the retirement final? Are you just upset? Obviously, for example, we saw Dan Hooker throw his gloves into the cage in rage after getting floored by Chandler. Are you feeling the same? Are you just, because you're on a skid, are you just feeling a bit deflated? Or are you really committed?
I think this one's final. I'm a pretty stick to my decisions kind of person, and it just sometimes things don't go right. Sometimes you don't get better at something, and it's on you to know what's best, right? And I feel walking away, just sticking behind the commentary, what I'm good at is probably most important. Who likes seeing me get knocked out?
Well,
I don't enjoy it. It's not fun.
As a boss man,
it's not fun.
But is what it is. I think I froze up, man. I was way too reactive and emotional in there. I should have maybe had a little bit more composure.
It was a naked kick.
And Rowan picked up on that, man. Good on him.
Yeah.
Well, you've taken the loss like an absolute champion. You've taken every loss with pride, and you've taken it in your stride. So it's nice to see you're not deteriorated to the point where you are upset. You might be a little bit upset, but it's nice to see you still positive and still your usual bubbly self. You did go out and put on a show. unfortunately, it didn't go your way, but you have got the entire respect of the aggro community.
Everyone loves you as well.
Hey, baby, we still got fights left to go. I've got to be here for those. As a consummate professional, got to call these.
Closing in the prediction, we have highlight of 57% of the votes
Fight.
with
We've
Roman
got
with
highlight
43.
versus Roman. Another fight. How do you see this going, Ben?
Gonna be interesting. I think Highlight, as his name suggests, wants to make something big happen, right? And you can see from their it looks like they've got some past occurrences here. I can't read the gamer tag; it's a little quality, but 3-1. I mean, if I'm the person who has not won 3, right? I've only picked up 1 win against this guy. That's gonna be a mental thing for me coming into a fight.
Absolutely.
Roman's
Same
one
happens
who's up
for
3.
even high level players. There's a few fighters on rank that are my kryptonite. I see that name, I see that profile, I see that gamer tag, and you just know I've really got to go out and grind and show this person that I am as good as I am. But it's going to be interesting to see if that plays in. He looks eager. He's first ready. Maybe that's going to fuel his fire. He's been showed up a few times by this other fighter in rank. Maybe it'd be interesting to see if that fuels his fire and his aggression. But as we know and as we've seen countless times, fighting aggressive gets you knocked out. We talk about Nick Diaz versus Robbie Lawler. Robbie Lawler got so angry, and Nick Diaz knocked him out. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how he carries his emotions going into this fight.
Absolutely.
Looks like we're going to have a... Go ahead, Ben.
So I was going to say, Kane, as a champ yourself, how do you mitigate those sort of feelings, right? At the top of the hill, the king, as one would say. And when you have those thoughts creep in your mind, as a champ, do you have a difference in dealing with those emotions?
Just got to let it slide off your back. You can't really take it all to heart. At the end of the day, sometimes you just can't help losing it. It just something happens. There's some some things in UFC obviously that a lot of people don't agree with, a few cheese bits, but you just gotta let it slide off your back. Every fight is a different fight. This is not necessarily means you're gonna lose another time. Those 3 fights they're all different. Everything is different. Every single fight it's always got a different situation. So yeah, I'm confident that he'll use the losses not in a good way. Sorry, not in a bad way in terms of aggressive. Hopefully, he doesn't go out too aggressive, just starts swinging and gets knocked out. But he really just needs to let it fall off his back, calm, and just focus on getting the W tonight. Don't focus on the plus. The past is the past. It's not, it's gone.
Absolutely. The adjustments can be made. Who cares about the former fights, right? Exactly. We're caring about the present fights. Let's get into it. Good touch of gloves.
We're going to see a sniper versus a kickboxer too. So this is going to be an interesting matchup. Again, you got to watch out for that crane kick. Again, we've seen that quite a bit early on in the stages. We'll come into a little bit of delay. So
seen a lot of snipers.
Okay, looks like
interesting. I've never seen that. Ooh, that's a nice front kick there. Highlight on the left. We've got Roman on the right in blue.
Roman displaying a little bit of crafty head movement there for a moment. I like how he's doubling up on that lead hand, throwing either 2 jabs, jab and a lead hook, mixing things up with the front.
I think it's sort of
looks like we're getting some chat interactions. We're saying, hey, can I ask the announcers, what can I do to fight in aggro? Again, guys, if you're watching this and you're a little nervous about building your career up in aggro, all you have to do is ask, hey, DM aggro fighting on Twitter. We'll get you in. We're going to get you a fight. We've seen it time and time again. People nervous about joining. Just join, guys. Hey, it's a lot of fun. But back to the action here, Ben.
Ooh. And I good moment. A little bit of a head rock there. Roman pouring on the pressure. Here's what I like to see. Highlight is not... I'd like to see, rather not what I like to see. If you're behind that black line, you've got to find ways to get off of it. Highlight, great job maneuvering, circling out, now putting Roman against the cage.
And what I'd like to see from Highlight is just be a little bit more confident. He's playing really careful, and I think that's because he has lost those 3 times already. I think he knows he doesn't want to get in a firefight, and he is slowly whittling away the head health of Roman. But he just needs to be a little bit more confident in his strikes. You don't want to fall behind on the amount of strikes landed. You don't want to be the person that lost because you were too trigger shy. You need to really just let it go and go for what you need to go for. Don't play around. Take your time, but it really needs to give you a little bit more action now.
Completely agree with you, Kane.
Interesting.
Output needs to be there.
Absolutely.
Both going to that bobblehead technique. We've seen a lot of the OG guys do that in the pro circuit. They do that bobblehead. A lot of people think it should be patched, but hey, it gets you out of the way of straight strikes, sometimes even hook strikes and uppercuts. So this is high level stuff we're seeing. Good little bit of high level striking we're seeing and we're seeing a lot of stamina drain though from
Both gentlemen here. Yeah, they're kind of digging into their reserves a little too early, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be careful, man. Using up all your stamina in the first round. And Roman is an obvious stamina disadvantage.
Highlight. Sorry about that, Cody.
Yeah, that was a big knee there. That really changes the complexion, saying, hey, don't go to my body, jackass. Don't do it, or you're going to get popped. And if you look at the long-term health of Highlight's block, it's down quite a bit. Maybe he's got to move into the second round utilizing a little bit more head movement and stop trusting that block. Setting you up big time for those 1-2 head kicks that were quote unquote patched.
Yeah. There's that beautiful lead crane kick from the mist from Highlight. That was such a good.
And I will say, the one thing that I noticed in the first round is Highlight was trying to make Roman pay for missed strikes. Roman would throw a head kick, he would whiff. Highlight would try to wing an overhand, right? He's looking for these opportunities in these moments, which is something that you want to see out of a fighter who is down two wins against somebody, right? A 1-3 against this guy, right? He's trying to... Oh! Never mind! Roman found the moment instead!
Beautiful leg kick just as he sways to the right. Oh! Highlight with the overhand right.
Roman with the hooks, pushing Roman back across the cage. Oh, and he's down! That could be it! Highlight pouring it on! Roman's head held his blow!
He stands up, good decision, doesn't really want to go to the floor, want to keep it standing, drain that body health, drain that head health. Some more body work now from Highlight would be interesting. We've seen him now rock forgot his name, Evan G, to the body a few times, so it's going to be interesting to see how that plays into it, because once you rock that body once, that stamina drains insanely quick.
And Highlight might be sensing blood in the water, but if I'm Highlight here, I'm taking my time with this fight. Roman is a very dangerous competitor. You've got to take your time, even if you feel like you have a finish ahead of you. Slow down, let the finish come to you.
Dangerous competitor who's had his moments, right? I mean, he's caught Highlight several times. I'm not going to rush in against a guy like Roman.
You can't. If you do, you get caught into a knee or you get caught into a front kick. Highlight. If I'm Highlight, I'm taking a step back here. I'm letting the action come my way, personally.
And the one thing that I'm not liking about Highlight's game plan right now is just these winging overhands, right? You got to set strikes like this up. We talk about this all the time. You can't throw big power punches or power kicks without kind of having a little bit of a lead up to it. And you can see he's only landed it twice, I think, this entire fight, yet he's thrown it multiple times.
I'd like to give a shout out to Cage Rage for coming in and hosting Aggro Fighting. Back to the action again here, though. Man, it's looking bad. If I'm Roman, I got to slow the fight down a little bit. Maybe attempt to take the fight to the ground. I don't know how well versed he is in his grappling, but Highlight is just doing a very good job of making Roman wing shots and missing a lot, draining that stamina, absolutely draining.
This might be more similar to Kane's comparison of the Roman catches Highlight.
Beautiful just on the break, and he's really going
he's pouring the hooks. Highlight's
down to the floor against the cage. Let's see how let's see how the Highlight covers and fires back. Let's see what he can do now.
Interesting. Second round between these two gentlemen.
And you can already see that's taking a factor into Highlight's game plan. Look how distanced he is. He really doesn't want to move in. He really doesn't want to lose to this guy again. And I think that rock could maybe sway him for the rest of the fight. Oh, and he lands a nice 1-2.
Good 1-2. And then wings the overhand. Highlight, you got to set it up.
What I'd like to see that I don't really see from a lot of aggro fighters is feinting. Feinting is a thing that you can do on UFC 4. It is something that works very well.
Looks like we're going to see the stats here.
See what we got here in round
Roman
2.
Obviously taking round 2. Oh, were those all in favor of Highlight? Okay, yeah, Highlight's up 2-0 probably then.
But the comparison I was drawing that Kane had made earlier between the Nick Diaz and the Riley Lawler fight is very true. Roman seems to, when he's tagged, he gets aggressive. He pressures. He pushes, which is worked out. But will it continue in this third round while the stamina is continually dropping?
And as you can see, Roman got a very generous recovery to his stamina. Maybe that plays a bit of a factor. You think that stamina would be just a little bit lower coming into round 3, but he got a good, generous helping of stamina upgrade. And you got to thank his corner for that for sure.
Now, gentlemen, the question I pose to both of you is, do you adopt a more distance? Roman teeing off of the 1-2. Do you adopt more of a distance approach like Highlight was doing at the end of round 2, or do you sort of get back on the pressure grind?
No. To me personally, I've been rocked by Roman a couple times. I'm taking a step back. I'm letting the fight come to me. There's no reason to push it. Roman's going to be the one that's got to push it. Maybe use some of your head movement, catch him in that slip hook or that slip straight, and then you get you a cheap rock, and that'll for sure take the fight away from him. So I'm taking a step back, doing a good job of it right now. He is, and just letting the fight come to me. There's no reason for me to go out there and take the fight. As he goes in there, and he wings a hook.
Highlights getting countered. Roman's pouring it on.
Up against the cage, I'll see if Roman can get the finish.
And now he's got to be careful not to get 10-8'd right here. This is, man, you got to just not wing hooks at that position. And he throws a wild crane kick. Highlight, slow the fight down, buddy. Kane, how are you feeling about this so far?
You know what I want to see from Highlight is a bit more body work and leg kicks. And I know I bang on about it all day, like body, but it's so vital that you mix it up, especially going late into the round. Look at the stamina difference. Look at that, plays a huge effect. And a few body rocks can halve Roman's stamina in just one rock. So I really want to see some body work from Highlight. He's up on the scorecards, I'd say. He can sort of maybe take the time to work the body, work the legs maybe a little bit more, and really just set up that overhand, because he's landed it a few times when he's set it up, but he's just throwing it blind, expecting to get that big KO. He needs to put in that work, before he can punch his ticket and clock out. So I want to see a little bit more body work from him.
He's done. Misses the head kick.
Highlight with the big
Body work
strike.
not
This could be
needed.
it.
Go to a straight. Highlight, what are you doing? Go to a straight. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay. No, that's a good. He goes right back to neon belly. He's not going to get it as he's able to move into half guard pretty quick. He's going to go right to a get up. Oh, but he denies the get up. Maybe going to go for a submission.
Going back to the ground and pound. Can Highlight pound him out?
Goes
1
up
kind of
minute
again.
left in
postures
the
up.
third.
What is going on? Why is he not
I
throwing
wish
And
that
it?
again,
guys-
guys, this is prelim play.
What led to that sequence was Highlight wanting to make Roman pay for missed strikes. Right there was a big missed strike and a huge straight right down the pipe to put Highlight on his ass.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be careful.
No disregard to the Highlight. That kick was close to landing. It was a toe hair away from his face from landing. It wasn't like it was a
Oh, big crane
my
kick.
God. Highlight really coming in.
Oh,
Oh, that was beautiful. Oh my
His
God.
body just exploded. Oh,
The right hook, just as
Wow.
Roman went for that overhand right, the Highlight counters with a sharp right hook and gets the KO
Roman
out
seemed to
clean.
adopt Highlight's game plan for a moment, throwing a naked overhand Highlight wise to it. Beautiful finish.
A check hook.
The
Wow.
judges were nervous. They were sweating. They thought they would have to go to the decision, but it looks like the Highlight saves them.
Wow.
That was
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a Highlight finish. If anything,
That was-
Highlight delivers, defeats Roman by third round KO.
100% KO of the night so far.
Yeah, that big check hook there.
Cheers, gorgeous. I'm talking to them.
Looks like
not
we're
you.
going to be moving into Agro Nick versus Stevchenko. Agro Nick.
Jimmy Roach. We got Jimmy Roach versus CM8UF.
Okay, yeah, I'm going off of the prelim odds. Okay, Jimmy Roach is going to be minus 170. CM is plus 120. Very interesting. And guys, if there's anybody in aggro preparing to fight today, go ahead, queue up, get your fights ready. We got to keep this one moving for sure. Get everybody in and out. Try and make the stream as seamless as possible.
Talking about the stream, referencing the chat, Frankie Mitchell talking about his crane kick. Mitchell, looking forward to seeing you back in the octagon. BOTG, nasty check hook. Absolutely agree. That was a beautiful performance overall. I think that Highlight, again, what we talked about, being 1-3 against a guy coming into it, the mental game. I think he had a wonderful game plan. And it made some mistakes, right? Didn't set things up. Maybe could have used a little bit more diversity in his striking, but at the end of the day, got the job done.
Yeah, and even with the some of the improvements he could make, he was still probably cruising his way to quite an easy decision. Definitely a 30-20. Times he wasn't sort of out of the fight though at any point, and that overhand. And we're going straight into the other fight.
Oh, it's going.
Straight into. We've got Jimmy Roach versus CM.
Wow. Big slam. Trying to figure out who is who real quick.
Yeah, so we've got Jimmy Roach in the red, and we've got CM in the blue. We're in a very
spinning
very
attack to the body. Oh, big head kick.
You're gonna get a big head kick there too. Yeah, you got to be careful with those. Winging him early on. He's going for 4 uppercuts in a row. That's beautiful.
I'm a big fan of the Tommy Bahama shirt as well. Really hides all the fat. Beautiful.
It's a
beautiful
definition of
denial there.
Father at a barbecue who stopped cooking the weenies and started cooking some hands.
Oh, these boys are swinging, and these calves are thick. Oh, and they
CM down.
Sorry, these calves are looking quite thick. You know, they look like tree trunks.
Yeah, what division is this? This is.
I know, it's like heavyweight. Oh,
spinning attack by CM lands. CM going for the takedown, dumps him.
Really big lightweights, aren't they? Oh my god,
they're lightweights. Oh my god, what are they feeding them?
We're gonna have to get
I
some.
think they should be lightweights. I don't know if they are.
I was gonna say, if they're 155, they're definitely eating some Alistair Overeem horse meat. Look at the size.
Everyone watching the stream, we're gonna have some USADA testing afterwards. We're gonna try to make sure these boys are clean.
I've got some questions.
Going into the side saddle.
Ooh. His posture's
CM pouring it up. This could be it. There's no
could be all over.
That's
oh!
Wow!
Straight back to the first round finish. What a fight. Dominant performance.
Did we catch that in the third? Wait a second.
Look at that hair. Look at these choices, fashion choices. Really bold statement from this fighter. Makes me very nervous.
He's got shiny shorts and a Hawaiian shirt on. That's Tommy Bahama if I've ever seen it.
Brilliant.
Quick card here today for aggro fighting. Everybody's coming in, getting the job done early. And hey, if there's any developers in here, I'm not sure why there would be. Can we get backside posture up? Damina drop just a little bit. My goodness, that does so much damage.
Referencing the betting odds for that fight, it seemed that Jimmy Roach had closed at a -175, CM at a +120 favorite, or underdog rather. I do not think that he'll be an underdog in his next fight.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not, no. Now, there is one fight that I did mention before that I am looking forward to, and this is Eddie Murphy versus Young Kati Global. Now, I'm slathering over this fight because it is possibly the winner of this could be a title contender. I need some action in my division. Now, again, I spoke to Eddie and I spoke to Young Kati. When I spoke to Eddie, he said that Young Kati can't strike with him, and because of that, he thinks Kati's going to take a very wrestling-heavy approach. Now, Eddie said he is prepared for this, but he does aim to finish Kati in round 1, but he's going to be happy with the second round finish. When I said this to Kati, Kati spoke highly on his striking and how much it's improved. Before this, he said he rated himself as about a 3 out of 10, but now he sees himself as a strong 8 out of 10 in the striking, and he truly believes he can handle himself against any of the cream of the crop up with PS 170. He trusts in his advanced ground game, and he thinks his improved striking will get him and lead him to a second round TKO. So I'm really, really excited for that fight.
Moving on to Lynx versus Baker, though. Looking at the betting line here, Lynx closing as a -460 favorite. Baker coming in at almost a +300 underdog. Boys, what do you make of this one? Personally, I have to back the Lynx wagon. I think that he's had some tough losses to Greg, of course, but he's such a competitor, it's hard not to root for him.
Absolutely.
Hey, Lynx is an absolute dog. I mean, you got to be careful with Lynx. He's going to come out there. You know what he goes for every time. He's going to go for that high-level striking, perhaps maybe mixing in a little bit of grappling, maybe try and just take this fight away from Baker. But you got to be careful with Baker. I mean, the guy's an absolute dog himself. So, man, I got to be honest. I'm not 100% sure how this fight goes. We could go just based off of betting odds. But I mean, you got to look past the betting odds already. There's been one huge upset. So, We'll see how this goes, man. I got to be honest. If I'm a betting man, which I am, I have a betting addiction. Not to go ahead and do a tell-all here and stream. I got to say I'm probably betting on Lynx here. It is what it is. I think the guy is an absolute killer, former title contender. So we're gonna see how this one works out. Ben, how do you feel about it?
I could not agree with you more, Cody. I think that it would be remiss to not mention the high level striking of Lynx and what he brings to the octagon. And as I mentioned, you can't not root for him. He's such an exciting competitor. And I mean, that PS 145-pound division is so stacked. I mean, it truly is one of the most exciting divisions in aggro right now. But as you can see, looking at that PS 170 division at the top, Kane, what do you make of that 145-pound division?
I love it. The division is booming. Makes me a little bit jealous. All of the divisions, apart from mine, make me jealous. Maybe one day you might see me drop down 155, 145, as I said when I lost to Ganja. I want to go on a sort of legacy tour at some point and fight the best of the best. So I might start dropping down in weight. Now, one thing Lynx has got that you failed to mention, apart from his fantastic striking, is that beautiful, beautiful ping. He definitely has that transition. I can't never not shy away from that and say that's not a factor, because it definitely is, and it does play a big mental game. Because if you're the other fighter, you've got to fight someone with. If you're Baker, you know you've got to fight Lynx, and you're going to have 300 to 250 plus ping. So that's definitely going to be a factor. And and I'm not taking that away from Lynx. Lynx is a fantastic fighter. It's just obviously being on the other side of the world, his internet and our connection to him is a little bit poor. So that definitely plays a big factor. Again, I'm not taking anything away from Lynx, but I'm just going to be interested to see how Baker deals with that and see if he can nullify sort of the lag, if you will, and take it to Lynx.
All right, guys. Hey, I'm gonna be stepping out of the booth here for just a minute. I'm gonna get prepped for my fight coming up. See y'all when I get back. Hopefully, I come back after a win.
Best of luck, champ. Really quickly, give the Aggro channel a host on my channel just to get some exposure, boys.
You should see the state of Agro's DMs. We've got about 9 message requests in the past 10 minutes.
And that's what we like to see out of an organization that's growing, that is still getting its feet under it like Aggro is. And granted, I mean, we've had so much growth and progress. There is so much potential, right, and future growth. So if you guys aren't in the Aggro bandwagon yet, you haven't joined, you haven't fought, get on that right now.
Dewey, if you can hear me, get ready for your fight and get in the lobby, because I don't know if this guy's going to... Lynx is about, so be ready. If you can hear me. If not, I'll message you.
Kane, referencing the rest of sort of the betting line, while we're waiting for this fight to materialize, I want to go through some of the other larger favorites on the card. Yuri, of course, our boy Cody, he was a minus 430 favorite against Irish Gorilla. Of course, that fight's not happening, but do you think that betting line at that time, of course, is warranted, right? Making his debut at 155 on Xbox, is that huge favorite something that he kind of deserves?
I would say, yeah. Cody has really gone on a tear recently and really shown that he has improved himself. So I really think the reason why he's being favoured is because he's shown that a loss doesn't deteriorate him. If anything, it fuels him. He's come back and he's gone on an absolute tear. I think is it 3 or 4 fights in a row now he's won. One against yourself, in a fantastic fight, and it's going to definitely. I mean, I can't not support our boy Yuri. Not only is he on the commentary booth, but he did hand me my ass back in the day. the less said about that, the better. So, but War Figure again, he's also a dog. Doesn't let it. He's not going to be outstruck. He's not going to let it just go to the decision. They're both going to go out there and we're really going to see a war. I think we're going to see Cody really again lean on his wrestling. He's got really good at his wrestling recently. I think he's going to use that, or even use that and mix it up and then throw some strikes going with a knockout. But in all honesty, personally, I do see it going to Cody. I think his improvements they're just massive, and his fights attest to that. 3 fight win streak, just really on fire right now. really looking to
I
make a
completely
splash.
agree with you. You know, and seeing Cody's progression, right? He had some tough losses starting out his aggro career, and this is something that he's talked about so much, and we kind of give him some shit about it sometimes. But the man has truly become meta, right? He has invested himself into the game and learned all of the techniques at such a high, sophisticated level that, I mean, yeah, that's why these 4-fight win streaks have happened for Cody, is because he's just really taking it seriously now, which I don't know if he did at the beginning of his career.
Yeah,
And
and
he
one
still
thing
beat
as
Kane.
well that's just, shut up. And one thing that's really interesting is no cheese. He hasn't looked into the group chat and you know, as someone who maybe was down and out at a point in time, gone, I'm going to go to these exploits. I'm going to go to these dirty moves. Everything that he's done, he's worked on himself, and he doesn't fall back on any sort of exploits. He just grinds out, and even if he gets rocked, maybe back in the day that would have deteriorated him, but you see him now. He clamps down on his mouthpiece, he pushes forward, and he really just throws hands, gets the takedown. Really likes to mix it up. So it was beautiful to see his resurgence, like a phoenix. You know, from the ashes he rose, and I think with a good win now he can really catapult himself to a title shot and get that strap.
As my favorite fighter would say, paid in full. Truly, in Cody's case, has delivered on his dues. Let's see if he can continue this in the
I
Xbox
believe we are
155
going to
pound.
skip to Cody versus the TheFroMMA or War Figure, whatever you want to call him, and we will try and find a late replacement for Baker. Hopefully get bet pick in. So here we go. Cody, we're moving straight into Cody.
Bet pick, possibly.
Interesting.
Oh, that
No,
makes
not
me.
Links versus Bet, but Links hasn't signed up. The other one.
Oh, for Baker.
Yes.
Disappointed in links. We see some disappointment in the chat, right? Which it's sometimes warranted. If you make the commitment to fight on an aggro card, we expect that you have the professionalism to follow through with it. And
you can't just give us some notice, you know.
yeah, it
We're
really
not,
isn't.
We're not going to eat you alive.
Cheers
Like,
to
we're not
follow Ken the Lemon.
And this is a
Here
battle
we
of
go.
really interesting creative fighters. You've got Yuri Gustafsson versus Big-Eared Figgy.
And I love War
Yuri
Figgy, man. War
Gustafsson.
Figgy's.
Honestly, his creative fight looks like a mix between Yuri and Gustafsson.
Yeah, it does.
Look.
Has that beard gotten bigger since the last time we saw Yuri?
Definitely has. That mustache is new, and I am feeling it.
Let's see if we can get some respect at the beginning of the fight for both competitors.
Baldy, thank you for the offer, but it's on PlayStation. Sorry, man.
Oh, Figgy choosing to throw right off the bell.
No love from Figgy.
15 seconds. I don't think Figgy landed any of them strikes.
Oh, but Figgy,
Oh, Figgy catches him with an overhand.
Nice leg kick. Cheers for the follow, Vast Cole. Appreciate it, big time.
Oh, another overhand.
And
this might be Figgy saying, "Hey, look, I'm taking this on short notice. I'm going to get him out of there quickly because I don't have the stamina to go 3 rounds."
Nice
Definitely.
faking from Figgy on the bottom, but Cody
And a big
sweeps the full
A
man.
win from Figgy could really catapult him again and could really steal what Cody aspires to. So it'll be interesting to see if he carries that into the fight. And
Stealing the
but
hype
he's
train,
getting
you
grounded
could say.
at the minute. Like,
Could not agree more, Kane. This is a big opportunity for Figgy as well. Cody, Erie, whatever you want to call him these days, I mean, he is a huge star and growing in the online mixed martial arts community. Can Figgy steal some of that Yuri thunder?
Backside from Cody.
oh, Cody putting in the work.
Nice flip from Figgy, though.
Biggie
He
reversal.
recognised his stamina advantage and went for the flip.
Oh, that was a nice denial there from Cody. Forced Figgy to get up.
Good start to the fight.
Cody working with that
Five
patented
pace.
spinning back kick. Ooh, Figgy catches him to the front.
I like that pushback Cody's using to get out of range. I love the aggro
Really
tattoo
good.
as well.
Really go into that jab spinning side kick. See if that's going to allude to maybe a jab kick or a jab 360.
Spinning back kick misses the
Once
body
again.
from Cody.
Oh, big miss from Figgy.
Quite a lot of stamina, all the use from Cody.
Needs to really look at blocking that lead kick to the body because that is tearing his body apart.
What a way to duck a spinning head kick by throwing a single leg. There's a single leg. There's a denial.
He's
Nice
shooting
from
again.
Figgy.
Ooh.
Nice denial there. Takedown defense holding up for Figgy.
And again, this is is what we were talking about with War Figgy. You cannot count this guy out ever. He is such a competitor, always game. And I want to say this, maybe potentially he fights at his opponent's level, right? If that's higher than him, if that's lower than him, he meets them there and says, look, we're going to have a fight.
Oh, that was a nice hook there from Cody.
And distance control from Figgy.
I like
Commanding the
that
center,
spinning
Cody with
back
the
kick from
pushback.
Cody. He's using a lot of stamina though with the pushback where he gets out of range though. Oh, nice uppercut.
Oh, uppercut.
Maybe Figgy's sort of learning now Cody's head movement.
Maybe he's figuring him out.
Get out.
Jamie, you're banned from commentary.
Quit.
Figgy is having such a lot of success in this pressuring, right? Commanding the center, keeping Cody on that cage. I think that's kind of inhibiting Cody's game plan a little bit right here.
So the Yuri Thunderdome will have to be Yuri Thunder cage.
Oh my god, I'm sick of this. Are you a dad?
Sounds like Chad.
Oh,
Someone has to fill in.
Everyone, I apologise for Jamie. He's not socialised.
Cody's shooting again for the
Nice
takedown.
single leg
Dumps
up.
Figgy, gets it.
Nice single leg to start off the round from Cody.
And where you want is up against the cage because you can get some really nice strong
Nice
strikes. From
denial.
there. And a nice denial from there
Straight
from
to top
Cody.
mount.
Straight into
Right to
mount.
top mount.
Nice denial from Figgy though.
Oh, Figgy. So even on the floor, he's not like he's outclassed on the floor. It's really 50-50 on both facets of the fight right now, on the floor and on the feet.
In Figgy's fight
like
with
Cody
the
postures
45
up.
champ, he showed he can hang on the floor with the best, so he's not out of this fight on the floor. That's a bad transition though. That was a silly decision. Arm triangle.
Oh,
Gonna cost him. This could be it. No stamina on Figgy.
This is 90 ping fight. Good denial from Cody. I think he recognised straight away that he wasn't going to get it with his stamina. Good
And that's sometimes what we see out of fighters, right? They try to put on submissions, but they don't bail when they, clearly aren't going to get it. And that could lead to a stamina drop on their part. That could lead to a positional change. Kane, if I'm deep in a submission, right, when do you know it's time to bail?
I think you need to. It's within the first 10 seconds, or the first couple of seconds. Sorry, you don't want to get deep into the submission and then bail. You really want to sort of.
I think you asked the wrong person.
Should have asked Jamie. Yes, you're correct.
I'm a submission artist. All my wins are by submission. But what I use it for in ranked and things like that is to threat. I don't ever. If I want to lock into it, I'm going to commit to it. I'm not going to get a few. I'm not going to get deep into the submission and then be like, no, I'm going to abandon it. You really want to cancel it within the first few seconds, just so then you've got the threat, like a feint. You're feinting the, you show them like.
Oh, spinning back kick from Figgy!
What is wrong? Big spinning that dick.
Sorry, Kane.
It's absolutely fine. I don't know. I can't even remember what I was saying, but it didn't matter. That was amazing. Oh, that was
Good catch by Cody.
I love that
It's a
spinning
high
back
level
kick.
fight.
High level.
Oh, he
on-
took him back!
And I alluded to it earlier. I did say I wonder if Cody's going to do something else because he was throwing the jab, turning side kick to the body. I wonder if he's going to do it to the face, and he did.
Nearly soccer kicks
was
him off that
beautiful.
single leg. Oh, he gives him a double back!
God, crazy kicks.
Trading, spinning heel kicks. What are we watching?
What a
And
night.
this is what I was suggesting with how Figgy can scale up his repertoire to fight at the level of a guy like Cody. Figgy pouring on the pressure.
I'm out of breath.
Ooh.
Get me another beer.
Now, I want to draw a little bit of attention to the stamina. Cody's stamina is slowly dropping down, and with each body kick, Figgy lands that lead switch kick to the body.
The 45
Drains that
contender
stamina
is in the
bit by
chat.
bit by bit.
Chad is here.
Oh, big miss by Figgy. 10 seconds left in this second round. Figgy shooting for a takedown.
Oh, he denies it.
Some knees there. Ooh, beautiful.
I don't know how to
round.
score
What a
this fight. I
fight.
hope it don't go to the judges because I don't want to see it.
Statistics. We've got Figgy only landed 9 strikes, but with 2 rocks, 6 significant
That's
strikes.
crazy. That's
Second round, yeah,
He's throwing heavy.
getting out landed. Yeah,
Wow.
landed little, but when he's landing, it really more effect. Whereas Cody's throwing the more 50% strikes, really just taking a Max Holloway / Diaz approach, just pop, 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 draining his stamina. But well, that was risky. I got nervous.
He's been KO doing that before in his
Yeah,
yeah,
Beautiful takedown defense.
nice
Figgy.
defense. Whiffs the front kick though. Slides down his nose, doesn't do any damage. Switch kick whiffs as well. Nice check hook.
Good body work by Figgy in this third round.
I would love to see Cody really defend his body. He doesn't really go to defend his body that much. He's getting hit by a lot of kicks there.
Oh,
so.
nice hook uppercut. This is
Good
a
uppercut.
this is
Big combos.
a really good fight, if you know what I mean.
You really you're really testing my patience.
We do have Chad in the chat. He's ranked 69th in the world. Congrats, Chad.
That's a good number.
It's a very good number. Not for any reason. We're professional over here.
Cody stalking Figgy now, standing right in front of him.
Oh,
getting in the
nice
thumb.
combo.
Boom.
Front kick!
Oh, big front kick.
Oh, he misses! That was so close.
so close.
Oh my
my
fucking
god. Oh my god.
That was nearly it. That'd have been crazy.
If Cody would have shot a couple of seconds before that, I reckon that would have been game
Not even
over.
that, was like half a second.
Oh my god, my heart is in my ass.
Figgy back.
He slapped me dart fruits everywhere and you said, oh, body rock! The knee against the
Taking a
cage.
page out of my book, been listening to what I've been saying. Work that body. Body tickling, he loves it. He loves the
Figgy
expression.
switching stances. Gets takes down.
Nice takedown.
Oh, gets the takedown, dumps him.
That's going to be big on the judges' scorecards.
Why isn't this 5 rounds?
Because it was made in 10 minutes notice.
What a fight.
You can't
Good
Good
get
denial by Cody.
that full
Even
card
if Figgy
finish.
loses this, I don't think his stock goes down. He's proved that on short notice he can bang. And he's gone 3 rounds. His stamina's held up. If anything, I'd say he's kind of maybe just got this stamina advantage over
He's
Cody.
gone for a
but-
fast transition. He's got up, but he needs to bot that body and get off the cage instantly, or he's going to get rocked again.
Oh, nice uppercuts.
Get
from
off that
Lee.
cage.
The knees.
Oh,
Oh,
Figgy's
Figgy.
getting and he breaks off. Let's see if
Currently in
Figgy's doing
orthodox.
it.
I think we'll look to
Ooh.
change back to southpaw. Nope. Talking out my
See,
ass.
Figgy's got.
Oh, he beat
Oh,
him again!
my
Figgy's
God.
rocked.
Cody, what are you doing?
Figgy's turn.
1 minute left in this incredible matchup.
That was a nice way to block a takedown.
I told Cody to go out there and get his fight of the night bonus, and I think he took me up on my word.
Oh, absolutely. This is delivering.
Head kick! I think Cody's run away with this in the third round.
Head kick.
We've seen in close fights the third round is one that sways the judges. I think Cody's gone away with it. That's a nice takedown though. It's too little, too late for Figgy. He ain't gonna get the finish.
Oh.
Nice flip
Oh,
straight away.
no.
Reverse.
Cody should go full
Cody.
mount. Nice denial though. Nice to get that denial. And that's
What a
it.
fight.
We will go to
What
the
a
judges'
fight.
scorecards for the division. Over to Bruce Buffer.
The first decision we've got, and it was an absolute war.
Thank
Let's
you
take
for
it
the
over to-
sub gifted from BOTG. Goes to 8 Will Carlin, the £45 challenger.
Big up, BOT.
If anyone deserves a sub, it probably is Chad, even though he is a bit of an arsehole.
No, Chad doesn't need sub. Chad's a straight up dump, bro.
Love you, Chad.
Here we
Best of
go.
luck tonight.
Over to Bruce Buffer for your decision.
Your decision.
Cheers, Ben, for the gifted sub.
Had to follow BOTG's example.
29-28. To Cody. Cody picks up another win. He's on a tear right now.
28. Interesting. 5 in a row. I wouldn't say it was that close, you know.
No, I think he's.
Well,
I think Figgy took the second round, even though he didn't land a lot. But I think with the big strikes, he took it. Well done to Cody on another dub.
Absolute fight of the night for sure. As you can see, the stats there heavily in Cody's favor on the feet. But Figgy had so many great moments.
I think
And the
Cody may have
positional
swayed it
striking-
with the wrestling. Sorry, Ben.
I was going to say, the positional striking at distance for Figgy was working beautifully. I think those spinning back push kicks from Cody were great. All around, what an amazing fight.
Absolutely. And you know what? I'm happy that went to the judges' scorecard because I wanted 15 minutes of that. I mean, man, I want 25 minutes of that. Give me all night that fight, please. That was amazing. And again, like I said before the fight ended, I really don't think this knocks Figgy's stock at all. He went out there the shortest of notice, a 10-minute notice, went out there and put on a performance against a rising contender, and now it allows Jerry to move into 5-0.
Yeah, guys, I did what I had to do to go out there and get the win. I was preparing for Irish Gorilla up until about 10 minutes before the card started. So, If that was a little boring to watch, I apologize, but I just figured I wanted to keep distance and work on my long distance takedown attempts as much as I can. And I know I lost that second round because of a spinning back kick, something I know all too well. But great fight there for War Figgy. Hey, I can't say it enough. The guy is an absolute warrior. So he gave me a run for my money. I'll be honest. I was a little worried about him at one point, but I knew if I lost that second round, I knew exactly what I had to do to come out in that third. Did exactly what I had to do. Put him up against the cage, got that cheap body rock, and that was it, man.
Is there
Cody
anything
was.
Sorry,
Kay, no.
Okay, so as I was saying earlier in the fight, what I'd like to see more from yourself, Cody, and this is not taken away from your performance, is blocking the body. Is there any point during that fight where you thought, man, a couple more kicks on body, this could be big danger? How did you feel going into that fight?
I mean that body switch kick was eating me alive. Yeah, that you're talking about the body switch kick. Yeah, it was eating me alive in the first round. So I made an adjustment. I kept getting popped by it, but that spinning side kick that he threw the second round kind of got me worried. But in the third round, I did exactly what I had to do. I just kept blocking the body and actually caught one of his kicks, and I was able to walk him back a little bit when I was trying to kill clock. But hey man, I got the job done. That's all that matters to me. I know it sets me up for a title shot, and obviously I'll come out and fight a little more serious when it needs, and when the time calls. I'll fight in a sense where I have to go out there and get the win.
This fight.
Well done, Cody. As someone we maybe don't see eye to eye a lot, but very good win, mate. Very.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it was tough, man, but I had to. Bisbing, you're such a goon. I love you so much. It was tough, man, but I had to go out there and get the job done. I know it sucks that everybody saw that. I'm a little embarrassed, quite frankly, but I did what I had to do.
Coming up next, we have Eddie versus Young Carty. Eddie returning after a long layoff in the 170 division. Young Carty has been very active since the rematch. Kane, are you excited?
Yes, so much. Fuck. Sorry to swear, but my God, I just really want my division to move on. There's just nothing right now. It is like the Sahara Desert. It is drier.
48 viewers. Boys, don't miss this one. We've got Eddie coming in as a boxer powerhouse, and we've got, I don't know what Eddie's going to be. I hope he's not being Kamaru Usman, because that is cheating.
I will say, interesting to look at the stats, 1-0. So, like we talked about earlier, the mental game here is going to be, look, this guy has a win over me. But I have to say, Young Carty has done nothing but impress me recently with his performances against Mitchell, against, I'm blanking, whoever the fuck he fought last week. Incredible performances.
Coming in at the predictions, we've got Eddie winning 99% of the betting. I think people are going to back Eddie in this rematch. I don't know what's going to happen. Young Carty looked very good against Mitchell. It'll be good to see what happens here. I'm looking forward to
two people in the stream.
Referencing the official betting lines, Eddie closing at a -280 fave, Young Carty at a +160 dog.
And like we said earlier, this could catapult one of these guys definitely into the title picture.
Into a KO from Kane is what I was hoping to see.
Oh, mate, I have been working on
52 viewers, get some hype. I just dropped my phone. I think broke my toe.
Jamie's going to need to change his trousers after that. Let's get into it.
Switch kicked open.
Body.
I like this camera angle. I might have to switch to this,
We've got Eddie Murphy on the left in the red gloves, and then we've got Ned Young Carty.
Eddie showing the awful tattoos which he started aggro with. What a veteran. These two both veterans of aggro.
Good body work so far from Carty. Going up top of the hook.
In the previous fight, we've seen Eddie come out and walk through Carty completely, so good to see Carty landing some strikes.
That check left hook has landed several times tonight, really digging into the chin. Carty is being effective on the feet.
And when I spoke to Eddie earlier, like I said, he said that Young Carty's not a great striker, but we're seeing what Young Carty said, where he said that he's improved his striking. He's got beautiful head movement. He's really lighting Eddie up on the feet, and maybe Eddie really did expect that wrestling heavy approach, but looks like Carty's really going to go out and look to bang on the feet.
Big miss by Carty. Eddie capitalizes.
Also, quick announcement. Nick and Baker are oh my God! Stuff the announcement.
What?
Stuff the announcement.
Cardi looking to make a statement with the 1-2 head kick.
And Eddie takes him down and stands and looks at him. Maybe
This
that's a bit of disrespect.
Are we seeing the end of Eddie Murphy MMA? I mean, Ned Cardi is coming out here and kind of making him look like a scrub. I mean, this guy at one point was an Agro championship contender. Jamie, even putting you in a run for your money. So I got to be honest. This is something that I've never. This is something that I wasn't expecting this.
The time away from the octagon could have affected Eddie in a vastly negative way, getting his head lit up right here. But again, this speaks to Cardi's ability as a fighter. I am backing this guy heavily here. As maybe off Eddie looks right now, young Cardi is on.
As somebody who's fought both of these guys. Oh my God, every time I talk. Never mind. Stuff my bloody talking. These two will just want to scrap.
Cardi is making the absolute most of this opportunity, digging into Eddie.
I think this is the inactivity from Eddie. He just doesn't know how to take a smack anymore. No one can take that left hand. And now Eddie's a wrestler. Now he's a wrestler.
As Nate Diaz would say, "Oh, you're a wrestler now."
I took it from you, Cody. I apologize.
I tried to tell Eddie a long time ago that, hey, the clinch got patched. You're patched out, champ. I hate to break it to you. Eddie was being
Cardi doing work off the cage. Short strikes, build up damage.
God, those tattoos for Eddie.
Yeah, I suddenly fought both of these guys. I finished both in round 1. I think Cardi, I had to get out there quicker because I know he can wrestle, as Eddie is not the best on the ground. So I was expecting the wrestle every approach.
Hey, Whizzer. Left trigger and down, my man. Whizzer out of that, please.
Oh, he drops him again! Check left hook, that could be it, that's it! Oh, he upsets Eddie! 99% of the channel points have just been lost. Carti drops Eddie and finishes him.
Oh my gosh.
What a dominant display from Carti. Now he's definitely, I want him next.
Wow.
This
could not have had a more slept-on fighter than young Cardi. Coming out beautifully with the lead hooks, working his combinations off of that, and you can see knocking Eddie Murphy down and finishing him on the ground. Boys, beautiful performance by young Cardi. Eddie looked a little off.
Left hook from Carti. That could set up a trilogy down the line, but next up, I think we have to see Carti fight Kane. Beautiful.
Absolutely. No doubt about it. That was a beautiful performance.
I can't breathe.
Eddie Murphy, I mean, that's one of the that's one of the aggro goons, one of the aggro veterans. So him dropping like that to
it's not nice
young
to see.
Cardi Global, which Cardi in himself is kind of an aggro veteran at this point, but Eddie was there at the beginning and at the conception of this whole organization. So, you know, Eddie's had his ups and downs with aggro, and I got to say this might be a big down for him. Hopefully he comes back. You know, he finds him a decent opponent and comes out and tries to get a win. Man, that's gotta hurt right there.
Yes,
especially for a former.
Sorry, carry on.
For a former champ like Eddie Murphy, I mean, having that PlayStation 145 belt at one point is aggro career, moving all the way up to 170, and then I mean he is the #2 contender right now, 8-5 now, 8-6. You gotta start asking questions. Maybe he does need to change up his strategy. Right, longevity
100%. Yeah,
it's secured by adjustments.
100%, Ben. Yeah, but you got to be careful at 170, like you said. That's obviously you're dealing with a lot more punch too. Another thing too, I'd like to see from Eddie. I'd like to see him kind of institute his game plan early on. That's from what I saw, he didn't necessarily have any kind of game plan early on. Maybe try and work the body. Maybe try and go for a takedown like he tried to do at the end of the round. He actually got quite a bit damage against the cage. Yeah, man, that. To me, it just looked like Eddie was lost out there on the mat that day and just kind of didn't do enough, I guess I should say.
Official, Stan versus Nick is back on. Stan has got home in time, and they will be next. Stan
she just got out of school. She's coming back, and she's going to come kill. I love Shevchenko's stance. She's always going to go out there and do a huge number for the fans. That guy's, you're going to see a lot of spinning shit. Hopefully he doesn't get taken down early on. I hope not. But we'll see how this one goes, man.
Nick has struggled with really aggressive fighters, right? They put the pressure on, and he sometimes is getting in situations where his defense isn't holding up. We saw that last week with, I believe, the Joker, right? You know, these are lessons for Nick. And at this point, he knows, I have to get it to the mat. I have to implement the grappling game. Kane, Jamie, how does he get it there?
I believe he has to mix up his strikes really to get it to the floor. You really need to. You can't just throw naked takedowns. Maybe mixing the clinch, a few trips. Trips are super effective. You know, you're working with the knees, maybe a few uppercuts to the body, and then you dump them on the butt. So I think you really need to mix it up. You can't just throw naked because we've seen in the fight just previously with Cody with the takedown, they can be countered. And a couple of seconds, if Cody had thrown that takedown maybe a second earlier, a knee from the fighter would have connected. So you can't. You really need to mix it up with the striking. You know, throwing the clinch, really make and even feint the takedowns. Really play that mental game. Get that other fighter scared of that takedown, and then you execute them on the feet.
While I'm here, while I got everybody in the stream, we'd like to give a shout out to one of the Agro founders, a guy that I personally retired. It's DJ Mikey B on Twitter. Go ahead and drop the guy a follow, man. He's had his troubles with Twitter. He's been in and out of it, but we'd like to give a shout out to him, one of the guys who started it. And I guess while I'm doing that, I might as well shout out the rest of Agro management. Give me 1 second. Let me get all the ats out. Just while everybody's here, I know I hate to do a little bit of self promo here. We got Agro Nick. We're about to watch. Beautiful performer. He's a management legend, man. He comes out always putting the cards together. Pretty much, if you've seen a card for Agro, this guy's had a hand in putting it together. We'd like to also give a shout out to Cage Rage UFC 4. Wonderful cross promotion deal we have with those guys. They continuously do a lot for us when honestly we don't do enough for them. Ben's MMA. I'd like to give a shout out to Ben's MMA, guys. Voice you're hearing a lot today. Myself, of course, but you already know that. Brandon Lee, ex-Brand Diggity Dog. Again, we've had our ups and downs with that guy, but hey, he's a wonderful guy. He's always doing a good job. MMA Gaming at UFC 4, just at MMA Gaming, and then at that guy Jamie. You know, that guy, he's a little bit of a toolbox sometimes, but you know what? He has the best meaning for Agro. If there's one guy that bleeds Agro in this whole company, it's him 100%. He's always out there doing what he can. Cross promotion. We got 56 viewers in here. Who's ready for some action? Ben, take it away, man. Where are we at?
Bet pick versus Baker. Again, and that's what I love to see out of an organization like Agro, right? Somebody who is adaptable. We have a couple fights fall through. We have some fighters who don't show up, but we're able to make things work and get stuff together on the fly. Looking forward to seeing Bet Pick back in there. Now, in Cage Rage, speaking of our partner organization, he had an amazing fight against Ruthless Omni yesterday. Went deep into the championship rounds. Unfortunately, got in a unfortunate late TKO. Omni was putting it together, but that guy is a serious competitor. Kane, Yuri, how do you guys think he fares in this PlayStation
I think he did a wonderful job. I'm sorry, Jamie continuously interrupts us, and we're in the middle of the fight here. 2:30 in, we're gonna see a big Nick with a big uppercut rocking him, and if we're just piecing this one together, it looks like Nick is beating his ass. This is interesting to see, as Nick's one of the guys who's always done a good job in management, never really done a good job in fighting. Perhaps a turn to show, hey, maybe I'm here to win now. We go into the action. Ben, how are you feeling about this? A little bit early coming into it, but we'll see how it goes. A big head kick. He goes for the flying knee, gets head kicked, and he's doesn't get the flash KO. Interesting. He's gonna go for the big knee.
Nice.
As Nick's taking him down. Hang on, can we get Nick on a face cam? I'm not 100% sure this guy's fighting. I mean, this is 100% of a turn here. I mean, look at him. He's got him in sprawl. Stan doesn't do a good job of denying it, and he's going to backside, but he does deny the backside. I'd like to see a posture up right here. Yep, Stan gets out of it. Beautiful performances this far by Nick. My goodness, he goes for another huge lead head kick.
Nick is just putting on the pressure. I love the aggressive approach. I think that this is something that he needed to add to his game, right? Have some power, In order to get things to the mat, you got to make people fear the hands. And I think he's doing a great job of putting so many looks on Stan Shevchenko right now.
Big up, big up, Miss Sumbledink with the 25 bits.
Appreciate the bits given there, but we're going to go back to the action here. I mean, this is a high-paced fight. As Nick's doing a good job of working the body early on, as we could see, he goes right back for a takedown. Stan does a good job of denying that. If you're Stan, you gotta slow the fight down. It's a big crank kick. Oh my goodness, he goes for the head kick. Oh my God, to end the round. Can you believe that?
That was the craziest 5 seconds in aggro history.
Head kick,
Jesus
head kick,
Christ.
crane kick. Oh my goodness, this is just wonderful action to start off. I wish we would have seen the whole fight. Wow, beautiful showing.
Early contender for round of the year, Nick versus Stan. Let's see if Nick
That's
can.
two
Oh,
head
Nick gets a
kick.
head kick.
Stan putting on the pressure now, knows he might be down after. Oh!
Oh!
We see that check hook.
Oh,
Again.
He doesn't get the up kick. He's gonna finish him. Nick's gonna finish him.
Oh!
My gosh!
Big
Can you
aggro
believe
Nick.
that?
Wow.
Nick coming back from the dead. Hey, I am here to compete in aggro, not just management. I'm here to win. Wow, that is wonderful to see.
34
Big ups
seconds
to
into
Nicholas
round
there.
2.
Kane,
Oh,
I
my
got to
God.
get your insights on this. Last week, Nick looked out of his depth. This week, man, he looked like a world breaker. What are your thoughts?
Those kicks really set him apart from his last performance. You really saw them being really effective against Shevchenko Stan. Any kick that he threw, Nick did get caught with a few kicks himself, but maybe in his previous fights where that would have deteriorated and maybe knocked his confidence, he didn't care. He put his hands up, he marched forward, put the pressure on, and really got the W. Maybe we were working on his power because, like you said, he didn't really have a lot of power, kind of pillow hands, if you will, before, and now he's just gone out and put on a beating of Shevchenko Stan. So I'm blown away by that performance. It was an absolute. And we only got a few half a round and then 34 seconds of it. Imagine if that would have gone the full 15 minutes, what sort of performance we could have got. But now. All right, mate. Cool.
Yeah, let's let Nick know he needs to get in here. I got to ask him some questions about the adjustments he's made because he looks like a completely different fighter. Let's see. Really quick, while we're waiting on Nick, let me reference the betting line one more time for you guys. JK, there is no betting line. Oh, actually, yes. Minus 170 for aggro Nick, plus 140 for Stan Shevchenko. A close fight in the predictions. However, nothing close about it in the execution. Phenomenal. I'm still shocked.
Big up the boys. Sugar Bible gifted another 25 bits and Humble Dink dropping another 15. Speaking of Humble Dink, he is coming in here to fight Baker VE on very short notice. Looking to go on a 2-fight win streak at 45. How do you all think about it, lads?
I think that, Humble, again, I had the pleasure of calling Humble's fight yesterday. He is such a competitor, so game. And while sometimes he does maybe implement more of a creative striking style instead of a traditional effective approach, he likes to have fun in there, which is always entertaining, leaves him open to getting countered sometimes. However, if this guy straps up the boots and gets into it, there's nobody that can stop it.
Yeah, too, and I agree with you there. You got to think about it too. Humble Dink kind of come out and did a really big job in that Thunderdome Zayev tournament. So I mean, he really made a name for himself as if he needed to make a name for himself. He's a hell of a competitor, and like Ben was saying, he's a lot more creative too. So yeah, man, this is wonderful.
And his losses have only come from high-level players, apart from Ganja. So they've come to me and BetPick had 2 wars.
Did we get a Nick? Interview? I want to interview Nick, man. That was wonderful.
Just jumped in.
Oh,
Nicholas, what's up, brother?
how we doing, guys?
Nick, I got to know, how are you feeling right now after having such a dominant victory?
Pretty alleviated. Went in there, tried to grapple with him. He did a pretty good job stuffing me, so I had to think quick on the feet. And he caught me a couple times with those crane kicks, but he didn't defend any of those head kicks, so it added up at the end.
Now, referencing last week's performance, you sort of struggled with the aggression coming out of your opponent's camp. Did you maybe look at that and see that's something that I need to integrate into my game?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm one of those people that when people bring the fight to me is when I tend to struggle a bit, so I knew I needed to bring the fight to him first.
Yeah, you did a very good job of doing that. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see the first. We didn't get the first 2.5 minutes of the fight, man. But from what we saw, it looks like you were just pressuring. That was a beautiful performance from you. So what's next for Nick, man? Are you going to keep going after opponents, or are you just going to say, "Hey, I'm hanging them up on a good win"? Are you still here with us, Nick?
Always. I'm gonna be the first aggro fighter with 30 fights. It's a guarantee.
Yeah, that's what we like to hear, Nick. Nick, man, you bring a tear to my eye with that win. That was just beautiful to see the growth after fight one to fight
that
two. I
one was
mean,
for you,
beautiful
Ben.
performance.
That one was for you.
Thank you, Nick. I appreciate it. One of us had to do it. Now, Nick, one more question. I got to ask Nick one more question. He earns one more. Looking at the rest of this division, what is next for you, man? What do you want?
Well, not gonna lie, I'm kind of upset Lynx didn't show up today. So, you know what? Maybe he'll be the next one.
My gosh.
That's what we'd like to hear. Nick, congrats on the W, champ. Looking forward to calling your fight soon.
Good job, guys. Great card. Love you guys.
And we do have a dog with peanut butter in the chat. We apologize for that. We're going to go ahead and put him in his kennel.
Talking about Chad?
How about Nick, man, going out there and getting the job done where it was most needed? I mean, Shevchenko's stand is obviously not slouch. I mean, she really does a good job of pressuring and doing crazy stuff. But, yeah, man, she did what she had to do to come out there. Unfortunately, Nick was just better than her.
And again, to Shevchenko's credit, fought some tough people, right? You get a murderer's row in that PlayStation 145-pound division, and I can't wait to see them back. Hopefully they make the requisite adjustments that Nick was able to make and become an improved 2.0 fighter. Moving on, we have that pick versus, I believe, who is he fighting?
Baker.
Bet pick versus Baker. Now, this was supposed to be Lynx versus Baker. Lynx, of course, no show. The betting line for that was minus 460 for Lynx, plus 280 for Baker. Baker, do you guys think that he's an underdog coming into this one? I have to think he is.
I personally think he is, yeah. Bet pick is such a good player. He uses feints and head movements so well, and he really mixes it with a takedown. Does like to use the lean on the clinch into the later rounds if he is behind, but he's a fantastic fighter. So I would lean heavily on Bet pick to win this.
Looking at the stream chat, Humble is saying, I'm about to create a masterpiece. Looking forward to seeing what you paint, Mr. Van Gogh.
I do love that.
I really, I'd be worried saying that because we know of an Irishman that did that and got out there and got his ass kicked. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start off. Looks like Humbledink's going to start off with a bow. I don't know if Baker knows how to do that. Working in the clinch so far right here. Doing a good job. Maybe late denial there on that takedown. Not a big fan of the hair, Baker. I'm not a big fan of either of these caps, if I'm being completely honest. What is Humbledink wearing? My God,
got the prospector
cowboy hat. He's just tearing him up in the clinch right here. Huge uppercuts. Please tell me Humbledink did not just become a clinch spammer. Oh my goodness, he's doing a good job in it.
I did say he does like to lean on the clinch, but he's leaning. Normally leans on it sort of late into the rounds, like when we were fighting. In the third and fourth, he'd lean onto the clinch for that break elbow. That break uppercut. But he's really gone with a clinch heavy game tonight, and see if he continues into the third and the second and third. If it gets
Humbled,
yeah.
Doing a lot of effective lean strikes, right? That little sway cross, 1-2 head kick right there. Educated game coming out of Humble.
Yeah. And what I'd like to see some Baker is a knee. Humble is a small fighter, so one knee, and look how tall Baker is compared to him. So,
Spin for spin, Humble comes out on top.
But that is one. I can't even put words together to describe that.
It's a flexible midget right there.
Exactly. That is one dexterous chode.
1-2 axe kick. My God, dude. Humbledink's coming out there using that impressive array of striking. I mean, we all know Humbledink to be the guy that says, hey, I don't give a damn what conventions are. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to throw some crazy spinning shit. There it was, this crazy vertical shit. Big spinning kick there too, though. So we're going to see if Baker can pull this one back as in my opinion, Humbledink's done way more damage.
Okay, and you can see that. Sorry, Jamie, go on. The block of Baker has suffered a ton, whereas the block of Humble has literally just stayed constant this entire round.
And I really think knees would would really break this fight up for Baker. As I was saying before, Humbledink landed that beautiful kick. If Baker just starts to throw the knee as an intercepting knee as Humbledink's coming in, he'll think twice because his chin would get hit because of the height difference. We've seen Daniel Hooker do it to so many smaller fighters. I'd love to see Baker implement that in his game right now with Humble. It might be a change to what he's prepared for, but it would be a positive change because of the height difference and the amount of damage that would do to.
Baker has dipped into that overhand several times, and it has landed to his credit. But there's Humble with a go. No way!
You fucking believe? Oh my gosh! He goes with a big slip uppercut from hell, rocks him. Then he goes out and he does a spinning side kick. Oh my gosh, Humbledink, can you believe what we just saw? I gotta be honest, I'm not sure I noticed a small guy like that being able to get the kick up as we see the replay. My gosh, that was beautiful.
Oh my lord!
Exactly what Kane and I were talking about. That little guy can move. Kane, what are your thoughts on that ending sequence?
At 2 kicks now, I'm showing his last fight as the prospect for London. He is. He's got some powerful cankles, this man. He can put you out with his hands or his leg fat. He is truly a sight to behold at 145 in the PlayStation division. And I'm really excited to see how he progresses and moves up those rankings.
He's going to go exit that octagon, crack open a course banquet, and hop in a Jeep, likely, with that outfit. Unbelievable performance from Humble today.
You're thinking Jeep, Ben. I kind of think of a jacked up F350. If he's out there winning fights in the main event like that, he's going to get more money than Jeep money, in my opinion. But Ben, you could be right. He could be a Jeep.
Wow. Baker,
I don't even think he's a Jeep. I think he's a full-on horseman. He's not a technology guy.
He's riding the horse up to the octagon. I'd love to see it.
The only thing he owns is a PlayStation, so he can come on and kick people's ass. And in the night, he goes to the mines and gets some gold for his family.
Prospector Humbledink. Wow, beautiful performance there from him. I mean, he said he's going to paint a masterpiece. Fortunately, it wasn't the Irishman's masterpiece where he just got clapped. But
all right,
he went out there, got the job done.
And I believe next we have Grimsby's own, my personal boy, Dosser, taking on Umbro, aka UFC 4 News. This is a fight I'm so excited for. I love watching Dosser fight. And Umbro slides.
I think that, look, then this is something we talked about in the press conference, right? Dosser has so much confidence in his hands that I think that whenever you silo yourself to one aspect of your game, you become jaded, might be the term. This is mixed martial arts after all, and I would love to see Umbro mix things up and avoid those heavy hands that Dosser brings.
Absolutely.
And let's talk about what we just got here. Can we talk about what we just got there for a second? We just had Humbledink fight on an aggro card. Oh my gosh, beautiful performance again. But yeah, like you said, Ben, you got to be careful going in and doing the same old thing. Maybe change it up. You got to work on it.
And speaking of that, again, the partnership continues. We love Cage Rage. We love all the fighters out there. We got TSA Craggy in the chat. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Wishing you guys the best of luck. It was a pleasure calling your card yesterday. Can't wait to call it again next week. But absolutely, moving back to this fight, I like Dosser, right? But you have to be diverse. And while his striking has looked phenomenal, I personally see some holes. Again, an 0-4 retired fighter. Maybe my insights don't hold up, but regardless.
I agree. As someone who sort of is a striking heavy fighter myself, I did take away from some fights where I was like, man, I really need to refine my ground game, because at the end of the day, it's not boxing, it's not a kickboxing game, it is mixed martial arts. And if you get taken down and you don't know what to do, or if you're not as sharp as you should be, you're going to have a really bad time. So when I did speak to Dosser, he did say that he does believe that Umbro is going to come out with a very wrestling heavy approach, but his takedown defense is going to be on point. So it'd be interesting to see if not only if he does get taken down, if he can work with his back to make Umbro pay, maybe throw up some submissions, even a few elbows just to get Umbro guessing. It's definitely going to be his hardest fight, because as we all know, Umbro is a beast. The man is a very good.
And Kane, as you mentioned too, a guy who's a really good fighter yourself, and as a guy who's actually beaten Kane, I agree with him. I mean, you got to work everything. You got to work on the ground game. You got to work body shots. You got to be able to be diverse in the octagon, because if you don't, you're going to get caught. And that's coming from a guy who's beaten the champion, Kane, and is now on a 5-fight winning streak.
I'm going to get a PlayStation. I'm going to get an Xbox soon. I'm going to buy one. I'm going to skint myself to come and beat you up.
Hey, easy there, killer. You're going to catch a front kick to the teeth again.
Oh.
Looking at the chat, we've got Robbie Poirier. I'm still unconscious in the hospital. Morbid popping in, giving his perspectives. Morbid again, supposed to fight today, is not on the card. Backing Dosser. We'll see if that is the correct move. And I will say, I want to let's take a step back real quick before we move forward. To Baker, I want to say absolutely agree with you. You aren't a bad fighter, right? Anybody fighting Humble is going to look less than average sometimes. The guy is so skilled in every aspect of the game. Cody would probably say he's probably meta, you know? So not a bad fighter by any means. A couple adjustments that you got to make moving forward, though. Mixing it up. We were yelling for the knees. We didn't see one. Hope to see you have a more diverse toolbox in your next fight. Now, getting back to it.
And he wasn't complete. I just want to quickly say, oh my God, we've got Floyd Mayweather. Is that Floyd? That's got to be a Floyd creative fighter. Look at that.
Kane, be very, very easy. I don't think that's Floyd Mayweather. I don't think that's Floyd Mayweather. It might look like Floyd Mayweather a little bit, but Floyd Mayweather's in boxing, not in UFC.
No, I'm telling you, I've just shelled out as the champion. I got a lot of big bucks. I told him, I'll tickle your balls if you come fight for Agro, and we made a good business decision. Now,
was he able to read the contract?
No, I had to do it for him, and then it was a struggle because I also can't read.
Kane doing a bit of oversharing to start this fight.
Before we get started, I want to make light some news that Humble just put in the group chat at BumRock401. Let's go next week. The champ calling out the top of the division. Humble wants the title shot. Does he deserve it with that performance? We'll find out potentially later this week. But getting back to this fight. Dosser with a little pre-fight action. Let's see if they touch gloves. No, they do not.
This is going to be very interesting because if he has got a Floyd Mayweather sort of boxing-esque character, maybe we're going to see Slazenger Sandals mix up the striking and take it to Dosser. Because Dosser did say to me, like I said, he was expecting a lot of wrestling, maybe not a lot of striking. So maybe this is going to throw Dosser off a little bit, and we might see that coming to play.
But he's doing a really good job of working the low kicks to start off those new updated quick calf kicks. They do a lot of damage in abundance. As he gets a big front kick. Wow, that was a kick to the teeth if I've ever seen it. Let's see if Floyd can come out here and try and get his game plan back in order and start working those calves. I'd like to see him incorporate a little bit of a head shots, maybe work the body. He's gonna get rocked. Yeah, there it is. He gets rocked. That is crazy. Dosser coming out there and rocking him early on.
Umbro has got to do a much better job being defensive. That could be it.
This is it.
That was beautiful.
Good head movement on the back. Knee on belly is a dangerous position if you don't have head movement.
Wow.
As he saves his life there. It saves himself. Goes into half guard right here. I've never seen Floyd Mayweather work from the back. We're going to see a lot of it today.
Oh, nice.
See if Floyd can put it together. Dosser slides to top mount.
Dosser, and this is a part of building grapple advantage. If you guys aren't familiar with the idea of grappler advantage, you have to do those body shots that we're seeing Dosser do. Build up that grapple advantage that makes your transitions a lot smoother and a lot quicker. Sprawl here is a dangerous position, but yeah, MMA Gaming has a lot of grapple advantages. Pushes him up to the cage. Maybe trying to take the back here. He does. Very interesting transition. Floyd Mayweather, and again, hey, the rear naked choke, but he goes for the arm bar. Interesting. The rear naked choke is very, very, very difficult to stop here, but we'll see his defense here.
We'll see how
looks like he'll get out of it. Yep.
Yeah, that to me, that's a faux pas right there. Wasting your stamina in the first place. Doesn't deny the back sitting, the backside transition. That is up if you want to deny that. RT and up goes back to back sitting. I'd like to see him maybe work the rear naked choke. He does the same transition again.
These boys are rolling.
But he does deny the full guard transition. There it is.
Dial on the bulldog choke.
And hey guys, this is high level grappling stuff right here. We're getting a treat this early on. And he does deny the back sitting.
And that's
Dosser,
something that you want to see out of Dosser, right? We're asking the questions of, is he a complete, well-rounded fighter? And he just displayed some impressive grappling acumen.
And maybe it was true then, because his last fight he did suffer a bit with the takedowns, but he did say it was because of the lag, not because he couldn't defend. And we're seeing it here. He's
1-2 that rocks him, and he's dropped.
Again, this one could be it.
He drops him. It's over.
Wow.
Yeah, it's over.
Over.
Wow, big win there.
Grimsby's
Hey, Dosser did a very good job right there playing a defensive grappling. He even got into the back sitting armbar, avoided it, made him cancel out of it, got back to his feet. Very, very controlling round for Dosser as he goes out there and gets the job done. I'd like to see more out of that from Dosser. He's improved a lot on his ground game, denying multiple transitions from MMA gaming. So that was big. That was a really interesting transitions. And that's UFC 4 news. I apologize. But yeah, very, very, very good job there for Dosser. Taking the fight, putting it in his hands and says, hey, look, you're not going to sit here and break my arm. You're not going to choke me out. I'm going to get up and I'm going to hit you with a sick 1-2 to drop you. Good job, Dosser. I'm applauding that.
And the calmness he showed when he did have Umbro hurt. He didn't rush. You know, if the opportunity was there, he would go to the floor. But he really took his time, picked his shots, didn't panic in the grappling situations. Again, really calm and a fantastic display from a personal favorite fighter of mine, Dosser.
And not only does he secure the big victory today, but he also cracks UFC 4 News undefeated record, the 1-0 UFC 4 News, moving down to 1-1. Dosser finds himself probably going to be the number 2 competitor here. What do you guys think is next for Dosser?
A title shot, if I'm honest. I think one more win, maybe, if a top contender at 155, he could definitely catapult himself into the title shot. Again, he did lose. I believe he lost his title to Ganja, if I'm not correct. And that'd be an interesting fight for that. But again, the sky's the limit for Dosser at the minute. If he keeps up those performances, he might even get my attention. He did say he wouldn't fight me because we're both from the same place, but I think we can make some exceptions if the price is right. You know, that was a fantastic performance. And if he continues that, like I said, the sky's the limit. The boy will catapult. He showed today that maybe that the lag really was a factor in his last fight because he looked smooth like butter. He was just going out there defending transitions, really lighting Floyd up on the feet. And that's one thing. He beat Floyd Mayweather in boxing. I mean, that's what's not to love.
Yeah, and that was always the big knock against Dosser, his inability to work on the ground. But like he said, if it really was a lag, then hey, he made a statement denying multiple transitions. Again, like I said, I can't. That back sitting transition is sometimes very difficult to deny, but he denied it 2 times. Very, very good work there.
It seems moving on to our next fight, we've got Myron MMA versus Bear Yahweh. Now, this fight took place last week. Unfortunately, UFC 4 said, hey, let's do it again. Glitched out. We had to rebook. But, you know, what were your thoughts on that first few minutes of their first fight, boys?
I believe this is akin to Kutalaba and Ankalaev. This is our Kutalaba and Ankalaev. These two wanted to fight. They disconnected, unfortunately, early after an insane couple of seconds. And I really think these two they're gonna have a chip on the shoulder. There was no real loser. There was just unfortunate circumstances. So both of them are going to go out, and I really think they're just going to throw hard. And providing the internet connection holds up, we are going to be in for a war. Absolutely.
In referencing,
looks like we have green connection though.
Yeah, we're looking good. So this
good.
could be positive.
Kane, interesting that you reference Iwan Kutalaba versus Magomed Ankalaev. Their second fight, of course, ended in a vicious KO. Will we see one of these men fall in a similar fashion? Color me excited.
I wonder if we're going to get any sign of respect as well. These two have tested each other's chins in the last fight. See if they go out. Maybe they might be a little bit more patient because they both know that they have got explosive power in their hands. And they can really turn it on when they need to. So it'll be interesting to see how the last fight plays into this the rematch second time around. Again, obviously there was no real losers in the last fight. There was no actual loss. So this is 0-0 going into this, regardless of what UFC 4 stats say. And I'm interested to see how they're going to carry the information that they got from the last fight on each other into this fight.
And even with such an even first outing for these first two gentlemen, looking at the official betting line, Bear Yahweh closes as a -280 favorite, Myron at a +225 dog. Personally, I think that line is a little too wide. This is a pick'em fight, at least in my opinion.
Oh, I agree 100%. I don't think there's any clear winner. Again, in the last fight, both of the fighters got rocked. They were both in danger multiple times, and it was only a few seconds in. So I don't. I think the betting odds are not to be taken into consideration 100% in this fight. It is definitely an even playing field now more than ever, and I'm really excited to get into this one.
And to give everyone a reminder on their rankings in that Xbox 170-pound division, Bear Yahweh is the number 3 contender with a 3-1 record. Myron 2-3 at number 4. Close top 5 competition here, boys.
Yeah, I mean, both of these guys are absolute dogs. I mean, Bear Yahweh has sort of a stoic approach to his promotion. He's saying, look, I'm better than you, and I know it. Real deep voice, real scary-looking guy here. But Myron, again, man, he does a lot of crazy stuff, so you got to keep him caged. So, yeah, I mean, what a wonderful matchup we have here. Start the fight off. No touch for Bear Yahweh. I mean, that's what he's known to do. Very stoic guy. Goes right for the takedown. I'm gonna deny that. Not gonna have the distance there.
Yahweh really mixing up the feints. Went for a really nice 1-2 to the body, but sort of feint that straight and takes him down. But Myron gets.
And if you're interested to know about how the stack guard position works, you might get stacked up, but if you press up, that up transition, that instant get up, you're going to beat it out more times than not because it is a lot faster, unless the grapple advantage is strong for the person trying to move into side control or stack guard. So if you're very interested to know, up transition, the get up transition is very quick. As we're seeing a lot of clinch work right here. Bear Yahweh doing a good job of returning fire in the clinch. And there's a Muay Thai, the Thai plum clinch. Throwing a lot of crazy hooks in it. Myron's got to be careful not to get a cheap rock.
He grabbed for that clinch 3 consecutive times, and it just didn't seem that he worked as effectively. Like you mentioned, Yuri, Yahweh's having the better of those exchanges.
Nice knee there. It goes for the takedown again. Very
nice
good late denial.
Back up.
And that's one
Very
thing
good
that I
late
liked
denial.
about the most recent patches. They really did nerf the takedowns from the clinch. You've got such a bigger denial window now to get out of that takedown.
100%.
This is a fight. We've seen Bayard really lean on the clinch. Interesting approach. And going for the takedown. Gets him down to the floor. See if he can do any work now from side control. Half guard from Myron.
Sprawl for Myron. It's
nice
the denial on the
Yahweh. Ooh, this is risky. You don't want to be going for risky get-ups like that when you've not got a lot of stamina, especially in that position, because you've got so many. If you're a submission specialist, you've got so many different ways you can get your man out of there.
Yeah, that too. And if you are going to try and get up from that sprawl position, you have power transitions. It's RB in the direction that you want to go. If you want to try and get out of that sprawl position desperately, RB in the direction you want to go. Trying to move around with no grapple advantage, you're going to get denied and you're going to get choked out. Oh, he gets a big sweep there. Interesting ground game there. That was a beautiful sweep. Going to go right into half guard.
1 minute left in this round. Myron pops up.
Good get up there. Both of these guys really. Go ahead, Kane.
Say Bayaway's not doing a lot of damage off when he's on top. Sorry, he's just really peppering.
Big head kick there though.
Speaking of damage,
head kick there. Again, goes for the takedown, gets him into side control. See if he does any damage again, and doesn't go for any posture up positions.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like we're going to see a lot of grappling this fight. So far, we've seen the clinch be used. So far, we've seen it in the sprawl, side control, half guard. I mean, this is really good grappling here. And again, guys, I will continue to feed you notes. If you want to get better at this game, listen to my voice, listen to Kane's voice, listen to Ben's voice. We're going to get you better at this game if you just buckle up. This is the grappling stuff. A lot of people might want to try to ignore it, but hey, this is a part of the game, and some people's unfortunate. Fake head kick attempt there for Myron. Interesting.
This is something I want Ben's take on. Now, Ben, we said earlier in the fight that because of the last fight, both these gentlemen knew each other's power, they were going to be a lot more respectful. Now, do you think because of the last fight, that's why Bear Yahweh's taken such a heavy grappling approach? Or do you think he just thought this is the way to get him out of there?
I think potentially it's hard to say, right? Because when you have such heavy clinching gameplay, it's difficult to know what both competitors are thinking. I would love to see some more distance exchanges like that one. And to that point, I think, yeah, Yahweh understands, okay, Myron, I felt it last week. I'm comfortable really unloading when I have openings to on you.
Yeah, I agree with you, Ben.
Yahweh going for the takedown.
And what we're seeing here is we're seeing two guys that probably understand the power and trying to get the fight to the ground to try and nullify the other's power. Because, and again, if you can get the guy to the ground, you can avoid a lot of that damage that can be thrown on the feet. Barry Yahweh is a good mix-em-up fighter. He'll take you down or he'll strike with you. It doesn't matter to him. That's why he goes for a more balanced approach. But again, I mean, if I'm Myron here, I'm doing what I can to get the fight to the ground because I'm getting picked apart here. Either that or go for a clinch, slow the fight down, maybe move into that Muay Thai stance. I'm not 100% sure. And again, this is what I preach about in aggro. Have a game plan. And then if that game plan doesn't work, have a game plan number 2, maybe even 3 at least for some of these high-level fighters. You got to be careful. Throwing kicks in the pocket like that's not going to get the job done.
And this, right, what we're kind of seeing is, and Kane, you sort of mentioned this, sometimes fighters don't download data. They have prior bouts with people and they don't really extrapolate any lessons. And this might be what we're seeing with Myron, right? All of those clinch entries where he's getting the worst of it, that's something that he should know is going to happen. And now he's just getting picked apart. I mean, I've seen very few exchanges on the feet where Myron has won.
It'd be really interesting if Myron adopts sort of, if you can't beat him, join him approach with that clinch, because you did see a couple of minutes ago we did get Bear Yahweh. Bear Yahweh just hit him with a beautiful straight that rocked Myron. Now again, Myron going for that clinch on cue, just as I said, if he was good for if you can't beat him, join him approach, trying to get some damage off now, pushes him against the fence. Looks like Bear Yahweh might be listening. Myron might be listening to the commentary because he's going just as I said that. This is interesting. Really going for that. If you can't beat them, join them. Now working by Yahweh in the clinch. Big shots.
Oh, Yahweh with the big knee up top.
That clinch is a problem for Yahweh. And what you can do in the clinch that not a lot of people know is you can throw the hooks over the top if you're the defender.
Oh, Myron's down. This could be it.
Oh! Myron with
the reverse around the top round.
See if he can get some damage off. Couple of seconds left in the round. Fantastic round there. Fantastic finish from Myron. Beautiful combination. The rear uppercut into the lead left hook.
I think I do have to. Great moments for Myron as the round came to a close. But again, Yahweh really controlled a lot of those 5 minutes. As you can see there, Yahweh showing some disrespect. Oh! Myron down again!
It looked like Myron was about to duck into that body or maybe go for a takedown. And Yahweh read that perfectly. Just hit him with a beautiful again. Now mixing up to the body. Going for the clinch.
These uppercuts out of Bear Yahweh have been lethal.
And what I was trying to say earlier before that, that was a beautiful takedown, but Myron gets the denial. And what I was going to say earlier, before they got the rock, was you can offset those strikes, those clinch knees, if you are the defender. If you do throw hooks over the top, they will. Every time I say that, it lands those clinch knees.
Kane, you might just be Myron's kryptonite.
Gonna stop talking. Beautiful knee there from Myron. And again.
Good knee.
If you look at Yahweh's health, his body health is low. I didn't notice this. Yahweh's body health is considerably low, maybe at the same level as that. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, to Myron's credit, he has invested a lot of strikes in the body, but what he was doing the first 2 rounds was with his hands, right? And that's how those uppercut rocks happen, is because he would dip for a body uppercut or a body straight. And wow, Myron gets swept right there.
What a crazy sequence.
I'm glad to see that Myron adapted to throw a knee to the body instead of dipping with that lead body uppercut, which ended up getting him rocked several times, right? That shows improvement during the fight, adaptability. Now he's back to the feet. Let's see what he can do with 2 minutes left.
And maybe because we don't really see the knee get used a lot, unless you're a spabber of the knee and the elbow. But you don't see the knee get used quite a lot, maybe because it doesn't really do as much damage as you'd hope from a knee. But it's a really, really fantastic tool, especially if you've got a very aggressive fighter. If they're coming in to throw those big strikes, hit him with a quick knee, get out of the way. But Myron's now got the back, did go for the armbar, but the looks of it was denied by Bear Yahweh, and Myron makes the decision to stand up. Really needs to go for broke now. I think he's getting lit up on the feet. It's not really
And see, that moment, that knockdown occurred because he dipped and tried to throw that body uppercut. And Yahweh's wise to it. We're 3 rounds into this fight. They've had 4 rounds, and then boom, you see again. It's just these things you've got to know. After 15 minutes with someone, that'll be it. Wow,
that was
clinical.
Beautiful. Misses the head kick by a couple of inches and goes in with the lead left hook. Fantastic knockout and a beautiful performance from Bear Yahweh.
And Kane, as you mentioned earlier, the Ankalaev versus Kudulaba rematch ended in a vicious KO. This one follows suit. Yahweh putting Myron to sleep.
A clear winner now. No disconnections on this time. Just 2 men going at it. And it was Bear Yahweh that picked up the dominant victory. And again, Myron didn't really...
I'm right here, man. That was a good performance there for Bear Yahweh. I mean, you got to think about it this way. Hey, I might not have entertained the fans, but I got out there and got the job done, showing high-level grappling, high-level striking, high-level clinch work. Everything was high level for Bear Yahweh. I mean, I believe this guy's Division 20. At least he plays like it. Fantastic performance. And if you're Myron, I mean, your stock doesn't fall, but I mean, there's nothing you really did that impressed a lot of people. So he's going to go out there and he's going to have to build back up from the bottom and keep working up. I mean, but again, you can't really shake your head no to a Bear Yahweh beat. I mean, that guy's a killer. That guy's a beast. So, I mean, it's a little unfortunate if you're Myron, but Ben, how do you feel about that one?
I hate to disagree with you, Cody. I love agreeing with you, but I think that if you are Myron, your stock does go down at least a touch because of the fight IQ issues, right? Yeah. You have 3 rounds of knowing that one tactic isn't working, and if you're still dipping to it and getting caught, man, you deserve to get put out. I love being unbiased. That's the job as a professional, but I want to see Myron make some serious adjustments because that's an exposing performance. That is an outing where if I'm one of his future competitors, I download that data and I say, okay, he's going to dip and throw that body uppercut. That's the time to throw my rear or lead uppercut right to the chin to put him onto the mat.
I believe we're transitioning to another fight here. We've already got it pulled up. And again, fighters, we really appreciate everybody for being timely with their matchups. Get in there, get it set up, and let's work it. Again, we really appreciate that. And yeah.
This
and again,
is the
we have
main event.
Ed Kobe versus Stanley. Wow. I mean, can enough be said about this? 57 people in here. Hey, everybody. Again, if you would like to join Agro Fighting, it is at Agro Fighting. All you have to do is just DM one of the management is going to get with you, and they're going to get you into it.
Now, this is such a great matchup to unpack here. Stan, such a legend of the sport, currently riding, I believe, a 4 or 5 fight winning streak at the number 2 contender in that 155 division on Xbox. Ed Kobe, the only man ahead of him, 6-2. Looks like he has won 4 out of his last 5, I believe. And again, this is a title fight, boys. The first title fight on the card.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you got to think about it this way too. This fight has a lot of intentions for, I hate to bring it back to myself here, but for me, I mean, this has a lot to do with this 155 division that's needed a belt for a very, very long time. So, hopefully, we see a lot of action here.
I do just want to take a second just to shed just a little bit of light on the main card. We've got the main event tonight. We've got the Fro versus Chad for the PlayStation, the Xbox 145 title. Now, I spoke to both fighters. I've also got a list of the Fro's last fight. He had a 30-27 unanimous decision. He's got a 10-3 record, 5 post-fight bonuses, and the Fro has finished 7 of his 10 fights. Now, I've also got Chad's statistics, and I asked him, and the amount of messages, about 800 messages of what Chad's accomplished in Agro. So I had to nitpick a few bits. But, we've got 10-1 from Chad, multiple wins across multiple divisions. He's only been hit 10 times in his last 4 fights. And his last fight with Raw Dog, he was only hit 4 times. Chad's got the second longest win streak in Agro, and he's also got the most title defenses. And he's probably the consensus Agro GOAT, and he's also got the accolade of he's tied most performance of the night bonuses. So, the list goes on for Chad, and that fight is going to be a war. But right now, we've got the co-main event, Ed Kobe versus Stanley for the vacant Xbox 155 title. I'm about to get it underway right now.
Respect. The official betting line, minus 370 for Stan, plus 250 for Ed Kobe.
Ed Kobe with that beautiful tribute to TJ Dillashaw, on his belly. The EPO tattoo.
Stan getting pressured a little bit. Kabi catching a kick to the midsection.
And this is the first of 2 title fights, so we are scheduled for 25 5-minute rounds at 25 minutes if we go the distance. Definitely. Yeah, I was going to say.
It's going to be a 7-hour fight, ladies and gentlemen.
I know. You are a beast. Ed Kobe really whiffing on some strikes now, and Stanley making him pay if he does miss, so.
And I love the chess match approach that we're seeing here. Both guys aren't throwing a lot of power. They're just trying to figure each other out, get their reads, and that shows how high level these guys are. Would maybe see a level change as we near the midpoint of this first round. Could mix it up and go to the ground.
I think that's a smart decision, even just to fake the takedowns to get the fight thinking. You know, it's such vital. The head games in the cage are real. Feints work. People do bite. I bite. I mean, I'm a high level player, but if you feint and if you've got good head movement, it will throw me off. It throws any good players off because it shows that you've got confidence in your ability. So it would be nice to see some feints on the takedowns, maybe just even again just a clinch, just something.
Oh,
right on cue.
Good uppercuts by Stan, really teeing off right now.
Stanley's been really impressive this fight so far. Really taking control, really being calm, just managing distance fantastically, just getting out the way of Ed Kobe's strikes. Nice sway there from Stanley.
Loving the distance management too. Stan is staying at range until he wants to engage. He's not letting Kobe bring the fight to him. He's saying, hey, I'm going to be the aggressor.
Absolutely. There's a good knee there from
Kobe responding.
Oh, that clinch knee, that is dangerous, but you can block that. So sometimes you've got to evaluate, you've got to weigh up the pros and cons. Is it worth me if it works catching that kick? Because if you don't throw anything straight away, you're going to get caught with that big knee, and that does some damage, especially if you're on low head health. So you've really got to weigh it up and really say, maybe I just let the kicks land or block them a little bit later. Because again, second time in a row he's been hit with that beautiful clinch knee.
Yeah, this is a case of both of these fighters understanding each other's pluses and minuses, and hopefully we see a little bit of more action from Stanley here. I don't want to see him get picked apart, but yeah, I mean, this is a wonderful fight. Both fighters managing their stamina perfectly. That's what you love to see.
Stan does kind of unload on a big power overhand right there as the round closes, whiffs on it, but he's catching Kabi with a lot of hooks.
And Stan's really sticking with the fundamentals. He's not doing anything flashy. We see Ed Kobe going for some flying knees, some fancy kicks. But you see Stanley just mixing in the 1-2s with the hooks. Really just sticking to the fundamentals. Not going too flashy, reserving his stamina, being patient. That's what you want to see, especially when there's so much on the line. Stanley knows this could be it. He could be the champion. Been clamoring for this, and it's the same for Ed. So, really, really good first round out of Stanley, and I would personally give it to Stanley there, 10-9.
Absolutely agree with you, Kane. Cody, what were your thoughts on that first round?
I mean, hey, that right there is about as classic as a first round. You get a good feel out period. Nothing super pressing being thrown. That sometimes you don't need to. Sometimes you can just work things into it gradually and try and implement your game plan otherwise. Because you got to realize sometimes you get trying to go into your game plan too much, and then all of a sudden you're caught. So I like that. I like that from both fighters being veterans of the sport themselves. Going out there and showing, hey, I do what I can do to get the job done. And it's a beautiful, beautiful performance so far.
Paradise, stand up in the chat.
And the stakes are high. I mean, boys, this is a championship fight. There is a lot on the line for both guys. I mean, Stan having a championship belt, Kabi having a championship belt. These guys both are deserving of that title.
And there is a aura of tension, if you will, during an Ed Kobe slip in the right with a beautiful connection. Get Stanley. See if Stanley fires back now and can get some damage off of his own.
Most significant moment of the fight for Kabi. Stan getting back to work, though.
And that might play into the judges' scorecards, but if Stanley can just stay patient and mix up the strikes, he could probably, again, steal it away from Ed. Fantastic performance so far. This is a fight and a half.
Getting a lot of support in the Twitch stream chat for Stan.
Good blocking there from Stan. And again, you've really got to weigh up that head kick. He did, the flying knee. He did block it. But, you can't really be playing that game. It is risky, and again with everything on the line, you want to take as much
Oh.
precaution.
Yeah, I mean, this is two fighters that are just going out there and they're being precautionary. I cannot hate on it, man. I know I did that in my fight. You know, they coming out there and they're doing their job. They're saying, hey, I'm not going to sell out 100%. I'm going to pull back just a little bit. I love to see it. This is a title fight, so you got to take your time with it. Let the fight come to you. That's what I always say.
And that's the reality of a title fight in aggro. You never know when you're getting another one, right? So you really have to make them count when they come across your plate. And I think both of these gentlemen are taking a very measured approach.
100%. Yeah, I can't agree with you more. Ooh, goes for that slip hook there. Might have been a slip straight. Looked like a slip hook. Both fighters doing a good job. And I love the rock animations that we see. I wish everybody would have those on in aggro. Anytime you land a punch, it shakes the camera and makes it look like a big deal.
Body work out of both corners.
Stanley
really effective right
getting
now.
a little, yeah, 100%. Yeah, Stanley getting a little vicarious with his stamina. He's got to be careful not to get caught in something big there. If he works that stamina like that, he's got to be careful because he's doing a very good job of working the body as well.
And you got to think that rock from Ed Kobe has got to give him some confidence. You know, he was getting sort of picked apart before that, and he hits a beautiful slip to the left and throws that straight right down the middle and connects with Stanley's chin and gets that beautiful rock. So that's going to give him a new bit of confidence, and maybe that applies into the third round. He might go out and steal it. You know, we could now see Ed Kirby with that new level of confidence go out and start to win rounds 3, 4, and 5.
Oh,
What a beautiful slip.
Paradise boys,
a
let's get
a straight right.
let's get a
and then
stand chain in the chat.
and look at Kobe's stamina. I mean, his recovery was generous, but I mean, really great management coming into this third round for him.
Absolutely, and that's got to attest to his strength and condition because he's been taking shots. He's been peppered with little shots here and there, not necessarily enough to really damage him, but enough to really whittle away at that stamina. So that's got to attest to how much he's worked on his cardio this fight and how much he's practiced not, you know, getting gassed out. But again,
Ed, you've got to
Ducks the
block
bucking
that
head
knee.
kick. But he blocks. Oh, man. Did you see that transition right there? I mean, that right there was just beautiful work. Going for the 1-2 swinging body kick, ducks underneath as he gets rocked. I mean, goodness, this is high-level stuff here. If I'm Ed Kobe, though, I'm being very, very careful not to sell out. He's got to block that knee. If I'm Ed Kobe, I'm taking a step back, looking at my stamina versus his stamina and saying, hey, I'm winning this fight, even if it's not winning on the judge's scorecard. Take your time with this if I'm him. You got to slow down, slow the fight down.
Ed is having a lot of great moments with that sway right cross, but I swear, if he does not stop letting that little clinch knee that Stan's doing, if he doesn't block that, he's hit him with it like 8 times.
That
point now where Stanley,
big front kick, big up kick to save his life. Big up kick to save himself right there. You love to see that. That's saying, hey, I'm still aware, even though I got dropped, I'm still in this fight. Stanley's stamina, Ed, you got to just take your time with this war here. Stanley fought a 3-round fight, not a 5-round fight. Take your time, take a step back, say, hey, look, I can manage this and just pick you apart whenever it's the 3rd or the 4th and 5th round. Big side kick there. Maybe he's listening to me. I hope not. You get the distance from Stanley, man. You can win this fight. Stanley obviously up on the judges' scorecards.
Absolutely. And what I was going to say, how low Stanley's stamina is. Body shots right now will be vital. To
Stan's rocked!
And then
Stan has no.
Stan's run the spinning kick!
Smart.
Let's see if he whittles away the body health now. Oh, that was good decision there. Now catch kick.
Ed has had an
This is
incredible,
cerebral work here.
What a comeback from Ed in this closing minute of round 3. The body work has paid dividends for him.
Knee. As I was saying earlier, no one uses that knee because it doesn't do a lot of damage, but it does a lot.
Stan's wrong! Stan's out cold!
Gosh!
And then the knee.
The knee from downtown connects. Stanley out. Ed Kobe is the new Aggro 155-pound Xbox champion.
Congratulations, Ed Kobe. Oh, my goodness. If there was a more eerie performance for everybody at 155 saying, hey, I'm the champion. No one's touching my belt. Beautiful performance there. That scares me. That scares anybody else who's watching this fight. Wonderful performance. Again, I can't stop raving on it. He did what he had to do. work the body, work the stamina, and ends it off saying, hey, here's a cherry on top, fans. Thanks for watching. Big flying knee for the finish. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful work.
And you've got to think, if I'm Ed Kobe, of course he's not watching the Twitch, hopefully, but there was so much support and stand for him. I got to say, boys and girls, this was an upset.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And it's
100%.
a performance akin of Henry Cejudo and Marlon Moraes, where, Ed got beat up for the first couple of rounds. For the first 1 or 2 rounds, he was getting picked apart, but then he brought it back. He kept his composure, really started to work the body, and really brought it back from the, he sort of survived, brought himself back from the jaws of defeat. Really attest to his skill. What a fantastic performance from Ed. He was down, but he was never out, and he showed that tonight. And now he's the new Xbox 155 champion.
A lot of people are saying early stoppage, bad stoppage. We got Money Mufflin. It is the Ben guy. It sounds like that's a censored word. Hey, Money, fuck you. Let's move on to the main event.
Can we get a
Chad v. Pro?
Can we get an interview? No, we're not getting an interview with
We've got the press
Kobe after
conference
that.
later.
Okay. Well, there we go. We're good then.
I spoke to both fighters last night, and I spoke to Fro and I spoke to Chad just to get the thoughts on the fight. I spoke to Fro and he said, he feels like he's got a very decent game plan and he's going to be able to beat Chad. And he believes Chad's biggest weakness is his striking. So he believes if Fro can keep it on the feet, he's going to get the standing, he's going to get the finish on the feet. But when I spoke to Chad, he said he's about 75% of his PlayStation ability on Xbox, but that's still enough to dominate on Saturday. He expects a second round finish or a long, drawn out decision at 50-43. He's not taking any risks and he really wants his belt. So this is going to be a fantastic fight. I'm really looking forward to this fight.
Is he going to go with Alexander Volkanovski?
The Fro sticking true to his name with that beautiful afro.
Yeah, that's a gorgeous afro right there. You love to see it. Not changing up on his personality. I mean, look at the oh man, guys, look at the ping we're seeing here. That's a little unfortunate for a title fight. Fro looks like he's going to go with the kickboxer Razor. Is Chad going to go Volkanovski? No, he goes to his typical. Is he going to BJJ Vanguard? That would be a change up from Chad because he's usually going Wrestler Dominator.
A little bit of an insight. I spoke to Chad again today. He messaged me and he's been working a lot on his submissions. And he told me to look. He told me to tell the commentary team to look out tonight for a certain submission. He's going to try something really unique. So definitely something to look for. And that's a test to his choosing the Jiu-Jitsu Vanguard. So and we know Chad is a prolific wrestler. Beautiful ground and pound, fantastic submissions, fantastic defense on the ground. So maybe we will see Chad pull off this special submission he told me about. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm just going to tell you what he told me to tell you to watch out. So that's what I want everyone to tune in, really pay attention to this fight because Chad thinks he's going to pull off something amazing, and the Fro wants to pull off that upset and take Chad's chin, really put him on a platter and get that finish. Both fighters fantastic record.
Speaking of upsets, Kane, I mean, referencing the official betting line for our main event tonight, Chad is closing as a -400 favorite. Fro coming in as a +230 dog, which is incredible to me considering Fro is the champion. I mean, he's the number 3 pound-for-pound fighter, 10-3 in aggro. I mean, the fact that he is being so overlooked, in my opinion, is shocking.
Yeah, and I don't think that's nothing on the Fro. His record is fantastic and his accolades are great as well. But Chad has done so much, and again, he's fighting the consensus aggro goat. The Fro is so. Beautiful front kick there from the Fro. Chad initiating a takedown, but whiffing on that one. Let's see if he goes in for any strikes. Gets the clinch. Beautiful clinch knee. Nice takedown. Chad gets it to the floor quick.
And that's not where you want to be if you're the Fro. Chad on top of you.
Denial straight into top mount. Oh, and he goes straight into mount. Gonna get some ground and pound. Again, we said before, he's a prolific ground and pound artist. Almost a
Bro, trying to frame, trying to move.
Sorry, of aggro. See if he gets the denial. No, Chad doesn't deny it. And Chad does say that the Xbox is a little bit different pace to PlayStation. He's still really not used to it. He doesn't really feel at home at both consoles at the minute. He did say this at the press conference yesterday, I believe, to yourself, Ben. He doesn't feel like either is his home at the minute. He's sort of. It feels a bit strange. It's a little bit sticky, a little bit slow, like he's stuck in the mud. But he's putting on a fantastic performance against the Fro at the minute, getting off some beautiful. Oh, and the Fro reverses it.
And interesting that you mentioned his ambidextrous nature. I mean, Chad did make the claim if you put him on a PS2, he'd still be top 100 in the world. Standing guillotine from Chad.
Defense, this is dangerous. Chad has some fantastic offense, but some good defense coming from the Fro. But Chad's not going to get this. The Fro really showed his goal in that sequence. And if you Chad, you got to think this makes you a little bit nervous. You know, the Fro is doing well. He's not really taking a lot of damage. You know, his submission attempts aren't that successful. He's just got straight up off a takedown. We've not seen a lot of people do this with Chad, and this is 5 rounds, so this might weigh on his stamina. So we're going to see.
To be fair,
into the game.
I think Chad expects this to be a difficult one. You know what I mean? I think Chad knows that Fro's going to bring some tools in there that might upset the game plan, but you know,
he's not the champion for no reason. He's fought the best of the best and he's beat the best of the best. So he's definitely what a fantastic deny there. Fantastic. This is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Chad here too, maybe go back to your roots and start working from the ground, make him get on his back. But I mean, him fighting like this, that's not the way to beat him. You got to be careful not to get wrapped up in trying to get your big standing guillotine to stick it to Morbid. Focus on winning the fight because, hey, there's one guy that can upset. It's this guy. Be careful.
Take him against the cage, throws the arm over his shoulder, and then gets the suplex right into side control. But the Fro manages to get it now back into sprawl. So let's see what Chad does from here. Takes it straight into backside.
And I will say, you know, one thing that I asked Chad yesterday at the presser is how he does have a kickboxing tourney victory under his belt if he's going to implement his stand-up. But it seems like he isn't as much as I was anticipating, but he is having some moments on the feet. Do you think that that's giving Fro some cause for concern?
The issue is he has got a kickboxing win, but that would have been as a kickboxer. Chad at the minute is as a Vanguard BJJ. He's not the striking.
Does a good job to block that power top mount transition. That's a tough block sometimes. You got to be careful with that one. He does a very good job to block that. He's able to move it into half guard, but he's got to be careful here with Chad's ground and pound. Obviously, his game plan is to get the fight to the feet as fast as possible, but you know, not trying to sell out for it and get there eventually.
Very interesting round there. We saw Chad sort of not struggle, if you will, but he definitely had some difficulty getting Fro to the floor. And when he did, the Fro did a fantastic job of being slippery and like a little reptile. He got up, he got out of the danger zone. So see how that weighs on Chad. See if that plays effect. And he gets clipped there with a lead uppercut from the Fro. Really seeing this. Seeing if the
Fro dig into that front kick a lot more than I'd like him to. He's not setting it up effectively, and it's sort of leading to these exchanges where he's giving Chad an opening to take him down, and now Fro's getting a little lit up right here.
And again, it may sound like a broken record, but Chad is a wrestler, and knees are a big kryptonite for wrestlers. Again, that was as soon as that knee connects and you can time it and get that knee as he's going in for the takedown, that's going to stop him from shooting as much because you got to think he doesn't want to risk getting knocked out. Again, for Chad, everything's on the line. He's the consensus aggro goat. He doesn't want to lose to the Fro. So you throw that knee as it's going in, the intercepted knee, that's going to make a big difference for the fight. But the Fro's still doing a fantastic job, really mixing it up, you know, giving Chad different looks, not letting him get too comfortable, and really not letting Chad get too comfortable on the front. Oh! A fantastic spinning kick from Chad. Now he's putting on the pressure against the cage.
And there's that kickboxing acumen coming out of Chad. The hooks, the uppercuts, the whole dish.
And the Fro has shown really glimpses of really nice head movement. He's denied some of the not denied. He slipped some of the uppercuts really well. So again, the Fro's not really. Oh, and a nice denial there from the Fro. He's not out. You know, he's been hurt, but he's not out of this fight. He's still in there. He's still working.
And there's that naked front kick again. Fro, he's got to make some adjustments to that. Cody, if I'm dipping into the well too much with one strike, how do you mix it up and add some more diversity on the feet? Oh, catches Fro right there, or Chad.
Yeah, I mean, if you're trying to mix it up a little bit, you definitely got to do a better job of working down low. But again, that's the problem fighting Chad. It gets so scary because, you know, it's like, hey, am I going to risk going to the body and getting taken down, or am I going to just do what I can to try and keep it on the feet? It's got to be a difficult transition period for you if you're the Fro.
And I will say,
you got to go ahead.
Was a nice moment there. He threw a knee, threw an elbow. I liked how he mixed it up like that a little bit, right? Staying more in a pocket, a phone booth sort of range instead of at distance. But Cody, I completely agree with you.
Definitely an interesting fight so far. And I do think this is going to take not as much as a toll as we'd think, because obviously Chad is a fantastic fighter. He's got very good mental strength. But, you know, his plan was to go out there and really ground and pound, really grind out the Fro. And the Fro's putting on some good defense. You know, the Fro's had him hurt a few times. He's getting to the step. That's a beautiful switch.
He rocked him to the
got
body with
Fro!
a big switch kick. Chad going for a wide open shot for the takedown. Fro's got to be careful here.
Low stamina.
Got to be careful here if you're the Fro, too. You don't want to go ahead and try and sell out. As he gets taken down, it's almost worth getting taken down there to avoid that stamina drain and just eat the damage. Big spin kick there.
Spinning kick.
Oh, and Chad showing off at the end of the round. I think that would have stole the round for Chad there, that kick. Fantastic fight so far. What a performance from both gentlemen.
If I'm the Fro, I've never seen Chad off his back for very long. I'm going for a takedown right here just to get him thinking about low. Get that block down. Maybe even go for a body hook. Go for 2 or 3 body hooks in a row. See if you can get a cheap body rock. He's being too predictable on the feet. You gotta make Chad think, because if Chad's not thinking, he's just gonna pick you apart. Make him think. Go for a takedown. Go for the 3 combination body hooks. Do something other than what you're doing, because if you keep doing this, Chad's just gonna pick you apart. Eventually, get the fight to the ground and win.
Absolutely.
Good moment by there from the Fro.
Yeah, and you can tell the Fro's desperately going for that spinning elbow. That's one of those punches and one of those strikes that you can fall in love with because it does so much damage, but the tracking has been fixed on it from what I understand. He denies. Very smart denial, but Chad denies right back. Again, there's Fro going for he goes for the leg lock. This could be dangerous here. He's probably going to cancel it out pretty soon. It doesn't look like he's going to get this. Chad be smart to cancel. He goes into the second stage. He does cancel. There it is. Does get the cancel. Smart guy.
A good idea, yeah.
If it goes into that third stage, it's very dangerous. Again, Fro does the same thing. He goes for that bottom get-up transition from the bottom of the guard. You got to mix it up a little bit. Hey, you just earned that denial. Go for a submission.
Yeah, absolutely.
If Fro throws that naked front kick one more time, I swear I'm going to strip him.
I mean, I just don't understand. I don't understand.
It's the fight IQ that this one dimension of striking that I don't get.
This is the shabbiest we've ever seen Chad. This is your chance to embarrass Chad. Take his clout away from him. Go ahead and do it. Fro, if I'm in your corner, take it to the ground. But again, Chad's doing a very good job. And it's so hard to root for Chad, is it? Because, I mean, he's so dominant and he does so many good things and he does all the things right. I'm trying not to put the Fro over hard too here. So I mean, Chad's doing a good job. He's dictating the pace. Fro's not really giving him anything much of a pushback. We'd like to see him maybe change the game plan. Both fighters looking decent on their stamina. He gets the rock.
The Fro gets the rock.
Goes for the slow switch kick.
about.
That switch kick does so much damage.
Oh, with the uppercut again.
Beautiful.
Fro,
Again,
do not throw the front
straight
kick.
to the head. Straight to the head. Straight to the head. Straight to the head. Fro, mix it up, champ.
And you got to think, if he gets in the submission.
Choke
Fro's trying
subs
to get
were
an arm
buff.
triangle.
Choke subs were buff. This is dangerous. Chad's up on this sub early. Will the latency help Chad out? Because, again, if your ping's high, your choke offense, it's astronomical. You can almost see exactly where he's going. So, like to be careful here. This is a non-risk, non-reward here for Chad, because if he doesn't get it, he's still going to stay in a position of dominance. He's going to stay on top. It's not going to transition. And he's going to get to side control, Chad, if he doesn't get this sub here.
Fro's getting a little dangerous here.
Can he get to that fourth stage? He's getting to that fourth stage now, so that sub bar is going to go up a lot faster for Chad. It looks like he's going to get this, boys.
Wow.
See if Fro can clutch up. He does get it. There it is.
Wow.
Submission by Chad. We have a new Xbox 145 champion. Chad, with now adding another accolade to his ever-growing list of accomplishments as aggro, really cements herself as the pound-for-pound greatest of all time in aggro.
I think Ganja's the greatest of all time.
Shut
Don't
your
tell
mouth.
Chad that. Yeah, man, you got to think about it here too. If you're the Fro, you don't really take too much away from that fight because, hey, you rocked Chad a couple times. What many people would consider the pound for pound number one. You can't take too much away from the Fro. I mean, he did a very good job of working Chad's head, breaking that block a little bit. But next time, if I'm the Fro, if I'm given a position to get back into this title shot, I'm definitely doing a better job of working the body. I mean, he was trying to throw those switch kicks, but he never really threw any head kicks to match the switch kicks. So a great performance there from Chad, though. Chad dictating the tone of the fight, dictating the pace. Great work there from Chad. And again, he gets another fucking belt. Big deal. I mean, geez, how often are we going to say that? Chad gets another belt. Good job, Chad.
And that's, to Chad's credit, you've gotta pat yourself on the back when people are tired of you winning. I mean, this guy really has set the bar on a different planet for aggro champions and competitors. Truly one of the most dominant people ever to come through the organization.
Absolutely. I mean, his list of accolades go on. Like I said previously, he's hardly been hit. I think today, maybe he's been hit today more in his fight with the Fro today than he has in his last 4 fights. Longest win streak, longest title defenses, tied for most performance of the nights. He is just a fantastic fighter with a lot of accolades, and that plays a big factor. If you fight a fighter with such a big reputation, you feel that pressure going into that fight. You've got this dominant fighter who has reigned through Agro's history, and you're tasked with defending your belt against him. When everyone counting you out, you've got to go out and prove everyone wrong. But and that's the Fro still did a fantastic performance. He really made Chad work for that finish. It wasn't easy. I definitely didn't look easy at all. It looked like probably Chad's hardest fight today, apart from his sole loss. But it was a good performance. Chad did exactly what he needed to do and got the submission and is now the new Xbox 145 champion.
Hey, boss man Jamie, what are we doing? Are we going straight into the presser?
One hour from now, maybe about 10 o'clock GMT, whatever that will be, EET, if you can just tell me about 1 hour, 20 minutes from now, we will start the press conference post-fight. We'll have most of the winners, a couple of losers if they want to jump in, definitely the main event, see what Chad has to say.
Yep.
Okay, I will be there then, and this is an hour away. We'll drop back on to the press conference.
Okay.
And again, guys, we see 40 people sticking around. Come back in about an hour. Watch the press conference. You're gonna get to hear the same personalities that you love to hear. We really appreciate everybody stopping in and spending their Saturday watching a little aggro fighting championship. We really appreciate everybody.
And he's joined. Chad, how do you feel, my man?
Chad, why don't you save the interview for the press conference?
Save it for the press conference, Chad. We're done. Someone call out the stream.
We love you guys. We really appreciate everybody for stopping in. Jamie, I think that's it.
Let's go.
Good night, God bless.